marathon fundraising event on August 15th at the Huff and Puff Trail. Donations can be sent to Splash, P.O. Box 1982, Shelton 98584, or online at masongeneral.com. The Salvation Army is seeking nearly $12,000 in damages from Olympia. The city had notified the Salvation Army in March of last year that a broken pipe causing a sinkhole had been on the charity's property. The Salvation Army then hired a contractor to repair the break, but it was later discovered that the broken pipe hadn't actually been connected to their property. The city covered the costs of the remaining repairs. The Salvation Army is asking the city for the $12,000 that they paid in repair costs. A city representative says the case is under review. For 1030 KMAS, FM 104.1, and in Thurston County on 92.9, I'm Mary Lynn Foster.
Take KMAS wherever you go with our new free KMAS mobile app. It's a free download from either your Apple or Android device. Check out the latest news, connect with KMAS, and even listen wherever you have a signal. Search KMAS in your app store and download our free KMAS app today.
Like us on Facebook and get our local news right on your news feed. Facebook.com/1030KMAS.
Excuse me, ma'am.
We're trying to sleep here.
Yes, ma'am, but this isn't a motel. It's the Olympia Furniture Company showroom.
I just couldn't wait to try it out. I figure it's kind of like a test drive before you take the car home, right?
Here at Olympia Furniture Company, we offer home delivery. We'll even set it up for you.
But we kind of live far out in Mason County.
That's no problem. Let's ring you up so you can get home.
Oh, right. Well, he's a very hard sleeper. Do you think you could just put him in with the new furniture?
The Olympia Furniture Company delivers more than just furniture. They deliver quality, value, huge selection, and the occasional husband.
The Bucks and Royals are road warriors. Hi, everybody. Todd Ant reporting on sports. And the Royals got some late-game heroics to quiet the crowd in Cleveland.
Hosmer swings it, drives it down the right field line, into the corner, and gone! A home run by Eric Hosmer, and the Royals have taken a 2-1 lead in the ninth.
On 610 KCSP, Royals get the 2-1 victory in Cleveland. In Minnesota, the Twins rallied with 4 runs in the 8th to tie the Pirates, but Pittsburgh's Jung-Ho Kang broke the tie in the 9th.
Swung on and belted. Deep left field. Jung-Ho and a bottle of rum. An upper deck shot. And the Pirates lead at 8-7.
On KDKA, Pirates win 8-7. In Texas, the Rangers scored 5 runs in the first, but the Yankees more than doubled that in the second inning.
Swung on and hit high in the air to deep left. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. It's a grand slam. Chris, forever young.
On WFAN, 11 runs in the second, and the Yankees crushed the Rangers 3 touchdowns to 5. 2 of baseball's best young pitchers took the mound on Tuesday. Athletics ace Sonny Gray continued to display his dominance on the road.
Burns will have a play. He'll squeeze it, and Sonny Gray at Dodger Stadium dominates the Dodgers, a complete game 3 hitter.
On KGMZ, the A's ditched the Dodgers 2-0. Gray improves to 11-4. He had 9 strikeouts. The Mets' young star, Noah Syndergaard, was perfect through 6 innings in Flushing, but after a single in the 7th, he was untouchable.
Syndergaard sets the 1-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, strike 3. 9 strikeouts for Syndergaard.
On 710 WOR, Syndergaard's 8 strong innings led the Mets to a 4-0 win over San Diego. The Phillies sent all-star closer Jonathan Papelbon to the Nationals. NFL, after Commissioner Roger Goodell upheld Tom Brady's 4-game suspension, the league reduced Steelers running back Le'Veon Bell's suspension to 2 games. Todd Ant, ABC Sports.
For Newsradio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, 92.9 FM, Thurston County, streaming online, audio, and video this morning. KMAS.com. Hi, Kaiser.
He's not watching.
Oh, he's not?
They're already left for work, I think.
Oh, man. Embattled. It's the new adjective attached to the front end of Tom Brady now.
Let me guess. He was also thrown under the bus.
Embattled. New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady is defending himself in the deflated footballs scandal.
Just drop it.
Brady says in a 507-word Facebook post, which is an epic novel in Facebook land.
Yeah. Anytime you have to press the read more or the expand button,
yeah,
I'm skipping it.
He said that he did nothing wrong.
Of course not.
He also says that he replaced his broken phone with a new one after his lawyers told the NFL they wouldn't be getting it.
Why would he break the phone in the first place?
Yeah.
If it wasn't
it was
holding,
a coincidence.
Yeah.
It was just a coincidence.
Oh, Gronk sat on it.
Yeah, drag Gronk into it. That would be a good idea. By the way, officially now, the NFL's position here, Brady suspended for 4 games after the NFL investigation into whether the Patriots used improperly inflated footballs in the AFC Championship game against the Indy Colts. Brady appealed, but Commissioner Roger Goodell upheld the suspension yesterday.
Wow.
Brady says he respects the commissioner's authority, but, and it's a big but, he added, I will not allow my unfair discipline to become a precedent for other NFL players without a fight. Come on, players. Get on board the Tom Brady righteous train.
So that means it's okay for other players to deflate their footballs and then blame it on other people. And
yeah,
it's okay.
and then throw away, destroy the evidence. And it's okay. It's because we're the Players Association. And after all, we're all part of a nonprofit. So come on.
I think they dropped that.
Did they? They're not nonprofit anymore?
I think they decided to do that.
That's awesome. Okay. Meanwhile, over in the land of baseball, rookie right-hander Zach Godley from Godley and Krem pitched 6 strong innings in his second career start. Dave Peralta had 3 hits, 2 RBIs. You know where this is going. These are none of these people are Mariners. They're the stars of the game. Diamondbacks beat the Mariners 8-4 last night, 4th consecutive win for the Diamondbacks. Godley, 2-0 on the season, who pitched 6 shutout innings to win his debut last week, allowed 3 runs on 6 hits, solo homers by Mike Zunino and Nelson Cruz. Oh, you thought it was New Year's Eve when those guys were hitting those home runs. Anyway, he struck out 4 and walked 3. And there you go. Now, Mariners manager McClendon thinks struggling reliever Fernando Rodney is tipping his pitches, causing some of his problems. Could be. McClendon said before the game on Monday that he'd been watching tape, and there are some dramatic things that stand out that may have helped batters know which pitch was coming from Fernando. Rodney was pulled from the closer role in early June. He has struggled since. And that is sports. We have an afternoon matinee day. By golly, Felix on the Hill, 11:30 this morning with the first pitch at 12:37.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Set your watches. Don't miss the first pitch.
South Sound forecast, 48 out there, clear skies. It's going to be warm. So we got up to 84 yesterday.
We sure did.
And it was pretty hot. Today, 90. And if we do break that 90-degree mark, we will be leveled with the record of the most 90-degree days in a single calendar year.
Yeah.
Oh, but wait, we're not done yet. 94 tomorrow.
What?
93
What about Friday?
On Friday,
Oh
93 on Saturday,
What?
90 on Sunday,
Well,
90 on Monday now, 87. But in all likelihoods, it'll be another 90-degree day on Tuesday.
So you're saying the record is
1, 2,
pretty
3,
much
4,
in our
5,
sights here.
6. We'll go 6 consecutive days of temperatures at or above 90. And in fact, there is a weather advisory from NOAA. Different NOAA. Strong ridge of high pressure in the upper atmosphere and warming aloft will support an extended period of, I don't know what I'm saying here, but it's going to be
now,
hot.
when it's warming a loft, is it warming like a single bedroom loft, or
Yes,
is it one
just
of
the
those
loft? They have one of those nice lofts on First Street there. You can get support an extended period of very warm to hot weather over the area Thursday through the weekend and into next week. It's going to be very hot around here. Good morning to you. It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now from Shelton's Media Row, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. It's what day? Wednesday here at KMAS.
Sure is, Jeff. all day long.
Great guests on the show today.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
As the little honey bear would say. What was his name? Winnie the Pooh. That's it.
Yeah. Toby, Kevin, and you think Tom Davis coming in today?
I think that's what I heard out in the front office.
Okay. Regardless, it's our time to talk with Toby about the ongoing issues of poverty around here. We may bring Tom Davis into the fold to talk to us about Veterans Court, which is something that's starting to come about here in Mason County, Thurston County. Very popular, very exciting program. Working very hard with Tom Davis and the powers that be around here to get it going in the county, and things are going good there. Port of Call in the studio with Dick Taylor and John Dobson today, as we'll continue to talk about Habitat Takes Flight, which is a great event coming up on September 12th. Also, Oyster Fest at the airport this year, and other things. Now, last week we had them on. And it was a Wednesday, and we said, "Do you got any news for us?" And they said, "No, maybe tomorrow." So we're hoping today we'll have that news, and it could be very big. And that was one of the to go back to our forum the other day. It's so tough, and you heard about it in some of the elected officials as they're talking about ways the city and the county and the port and all these places are starting to get better. But they can't tip their hand at things.
Right.
It's very sensitive negotiations that go on.
Well, it truly is. And, there's contracts, and there's big money, and there's real estate, and there's just a lot of moving parts.
So a lot of times these guys can't say what is happening for fear that these negotiations would fall apart. And so I think there was a lot of folks, not only in the audience, but on the internets as well, that heard some of these messages. And it's hard to listen to when people say, just trust me. But we may have some information today regarding some movement, big deals. So that's cool.
We hope so. So we remember, of course, going in to the special sessions of the legislature this year.
You mean like in January?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And moving through the first and the second and the third extent. The cap and trade proposal the governor had sought.
I should remember that.
Okay, most of us should. And then, so this is a little bit of a different twist. I'll tell you the difference here in a moment, but the governor has directed the State Department of Ecology, now he put it on their shoulders, to develop a plan to cap carbon emissions in the state and to increase enforcement of existing pollution laws. He said the rule-making process on the proposed regulatory cap is expected to take about a year. This proposal differs from the original proposal from the governor because the regulatory cap would not charge emitters for carbon pollution. So they're taking the carbon portion out, but basically the same sort of rule for pollution laws that the governor was looking for.
So increase enforcement of existing laws. That just means
they'll screw it down a little tighter.
Yeah. If the laws are on the books, they may actually do something.
They may enforce them.
They may actually enforce them. Wouldn't that be something? Here's this terrible story out of Spokane this morning.
Oh, no.
SUV swerved into a sidewalk, striking and killing a 68-year-old woman who was pushing her grandson in a stroller.
No.
The woman died at the scene yesterday morning. Boy, minor injuries. He says folks are saying a drug recognition expert determined the SUV driver likely impaired by drugs.
Well, that is sad. Bellingham and Beham and the owners of a condemned Aloha Motel. You know where that is?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh. Famous, is it?
I don't know if it was open when even I was there.
All right. Anyway, so the city and the owners have agreed on a price in case you were looking to make a investment. The city council has approved a settlement in which the city will purchase the property for $1.6 million.
It was right on...
must be in a good location.
It was right on the main drag. Right. It was the first Bellingham city exit.
It has a reputation for criminal activity.
And it certainly did. And it was right past a couple restaurants and just about maybe 3/10 of a mile away from our house on Ellis.
15, 20 rooms maybe?
No, it was a big place.
Big place. Well, 11 of the rooms were found to be contaminated with methamphetamine. And
not surprising.
Health department has to go in there.
I mean, if it really is, and I do not remember people staying at the Aloha Motel when I was in college, but that was what, 14 years ago.
Yeah, so
it couldn't have been just dilapidated for that. Well, Bailey's Motor Inn has been dilapidated that long.
Yeah, no,
in Lacey,
very likely. It's a lot of money to pay for must be a prime location.
It was. I mean, it was a big swath of land. They could put some condos or apartments in there in a minute, and those college kids would lap it up because it's right across from the bars. There's some bars, and it's right down the street from the Hagen. I mean, it's prime locale for college kids.
Port of Vancouver.
Yep.
Slashed their budget 18%. Most of the loss coming from removing revenue projections from its dedicated rail program. According to the Columbian down there, most of the decrease came by taking $15 million in expected revenue from the port's rail service program off the books. All right, a quick pause, and we'll be right back. It is Daybreak. It is Wednesday, the 29th of July. Good morning from Jeff and Dale.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
I'm Kyle Montgomery with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Commissioner Roger Goodell upheld Tom Brady's 4-game suspension Tuesday, stemming from the underinflated footballs used in the AFC Championship game. NFL media insider Ian Rappaport reported that Brady will sue and that Brady's camp will seek an injunction on this suspension to try to keep Brady on the field. Goodell indicated that Brady's destruction of evidence was a factor in upholding the suspension. The Patriots released a statement Tuesday saying they are extremely disappointed in Goodell's decision. Meanwhile, good news for Le'Veon Bell. The Steelers running back had his 3-game suspension for violating the NFL policy and program for substances of abuse reduced to 2 games on Tuesday. Bell will now be available in Week 3. And the Arizona Cardinals have hired Jen Welter as a training camp preseason intern, coaching the inside linebackers for the Cards. She played professional football for 14 seasons, including a stint in the Men's Indoor Football League. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Napa conventional motor oil is now $1.99 a quart. How did we make it so impossibly cheap? Simple. We replaced the big numbers with smaller numbers. Boom. Done. So get up to 24 quarts of Napa conventional oil for $1.99 a quart. But hurry, before the small numbers become big again. Conquer the job with Napa know-how. General states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state local taxes or recycling fees at participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 7/31/15.
While most video surveillance solutions capture and store hours of nothing, CUDA Eye by Barracuda Networks only captures video when something happens. Once captured on camera, the video evidence is immediately encrypted and sent to the cloud for safe storage and easy retrieval from any web browser or mobile device. With CUDA Eye, there's no network configuration or software to install. Just plug one or more cameras into your network to better protect your business. Don't get caught with nothing. Do something about it. Check out CUDAeye.com. That's CUDAEYE.com.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll start today as soon as next week. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom31.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom31.com. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom31.com. Hi, this is Mark Hemstreet, owner of Shiloh Inns. Many of our Shiloh customers have been visiting our Shiloh locations for years. And here's an example of someone who wouldn't stay anywhere else.
Sometimes I go visit family, but most of the time I travel back and forth for business. And the best part is that I always travel with my dog, Lucky, and he's welcome at any of the Shiloh Inns. I love their beds, beautiful rooms, really clean. The staff go out of their way to make me feel comfortable. Business area when I need it. Man, I'm telling you, at the end of the day, do I ever enjoy that pool and the spa? Plus, free breakfast. I love Shiloh Inns. It's everything I need.
We invite all of you to try Shiloh Inns the next time you're traveling for business or pleasure. Call 1-800-222-2244 or visit our website at shilohins.com. Shiloh Inns, affordable excellence. American family owned and proud of it.
Hi, this is Alex Jones, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Thanks, Alex. 627 on what is expected to be another hot one here in the South. 91 today, 95 tomorrow, 94 on Friday. Saturday, the same. We'll be at the Little Creek Casino Resort, Dale, on Saturday.
Yes, sir.
For the Cruise at the Creek Car Show, celebrating the Thunderbird, some 60 years it's been on the open roads. And so we'll be at the booth, hanging out. If we're not at the booth, well, we're probably either getting a hot dog or judging.
Yes.
And what are you judging?
I hate to be judgmental.
Besides all the people there.
Yeah.
What cars are you judging?
The 1940s era.
Whoa.
The decade of the 40s.
Okay. I don't remember what I'm judging.
They'll remind you.
And I'm pretty sure we have Tom Lundbaum coming in. He's either today, tomorrow, or Friday.
Yeah.
Talk about the car show.
We've misplaced.
I got to find the email. We switched our email servers. That, as anybody knows, it's basically these days like moving. When you switch email servers, you switch email addresses, it's like you're moving, and you got to fill out the little forms that go to the post office and say, well, I'm moving. Make sure you forward or hold. So we'll have that going on for sure. But it's going to be an exciting weekend regardless. They got the Big Bad Voodoo Daddy Friday night. Little Zoot Suit Riot for you.
Yeah, so if you're going to register your own vehicle for the show, and you do so before Friday, they're going to have a poker run you're entitled to go on, and, you win prizes for that. And the poker run culminates with a lap up at the Ridge Raceway, which is kind of cool. And then everybody meanders on back to the casino and enjoys the barbecue and the Cherry Poppin' Daddies for Friday night. A big night. So that's for the participants in the car show. And then Saturday morning at 10, the car show begins, and they have hundreds and hundreds of cars in and around all of the parking stalls and out in the lawns, and it's a pretty spectacular sight, really. This is the third year of the car show. Seems to grow the last 2 years, and I anticipate it'll be a big one again.
Oh, it looks like I'm doing 50s.
Okay, how about
50s
that?
Cars.
You get the 50s cars,
So,
I got the 40s.
But not like classic Chevys, 55 to 57.
No.
So if you've got a 50s car, I like Gummy. Just kidding.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
For KMASnewsradio.com, I'm Mary Lynn Foster. You'll see some porta potties in downtown Shelton in the near future. The Shelton Poverty Advisory Team this week requested that the City Commission support the implementation of a plan to provide public restrooms in the downtown area, in part to help alleviate the problem of persons using public spaces downtown as restrooms. Community Development Director Steve Goins told the commission more about the recommendation and locations.
The initial phase is a pilot that will establish restrooms downtown that will be provided for a short period of time. Some analysis and consideration could be done as to how well those are received, how well they're maintained, where service demands are more expected based on the outcomes. The 3 locations that were selected, and that was after a fair amount of discussion, is the Brewer Park, the eastern side of our gravel parking lot here at the Civic Center, and in the vicinity of the pump station on Front Street.
The portable units in the downtown area is an interim step until funding for a permanent brick and mortar restroom is identified. The commissioners voted 3-0 in favor of supporting the Shelton Poverty Advisory Team's pilot project. The caution from the commission was to control vandalism to the facilities. As of Monday, Splash of Mason County, in conjunction with Mason General Hospital Foundation, announced they've raised over $94,000 for capital repairs at the Shelton High School pool, which is very close to their fundraising goal of $100,000 with about a week to go. Splash President Jackie McAlevey says they appreciate the outpouring of community support and encourages everyone who wants to help to do so right away. Funds currently being raised will go towards immediate capital repairs needed at the pool facility. Fundraising for future pool repair needs will continue past the end of July. Splash is currently selling hot dogs and soft drinks at Skookum Rotary's Music in the Park. Splash is also sponsoring a half marathon fundraising event on August 15th at the Huff and Puff Trail. Donations can be sent to Splash, P.O. Box 1982, Shelton 98584, or online at masongeneral.com. The Salvation Army is seeking nearly $12,000 in damages from Olympia. The city had notified the Salvation Army in March of last year that a broken pipe causing a sinkhole had been on the charity's property. The Salvation Army then hired a contractor to repair the break, but it was later discovered that the broken pipe hadn't actually been connected to their property. The city covered the costs of the remaining repairs. The Salvation Army is asking the city for the $12,000 that they paid in repair costs. A city representative says the case is under review. For 1030 KMAS, FM 104.1, and in Thurston County on 92.9, I'm Mary Lynn Foster.
Is your family doing some growing? Whether it's an expansion of your home or the addition of a new family car, Peninsula Credit Union can provide fast, friendly service with terrific rates. We offer personal lines of credit, affordable auto loans, and a variety of home loan options to get you moving. Visit our offices in Shelton, Belfair, Paulsbo, Port Orchard, and Port Townsend, or go online to pcfcu.org. At Peninsula Credit Union, our priority is you.
We are the suckers of the world. No other country would run themselves the way that we're running our country. We're the only developed country in the world that doesn't have a national healthcare system. We're one of the few developed countries in the world that doesn't offer free college education and trade schools to anybody who's a high school graduate. We got $1 trillion in student loan. No other country would even consider that. We are the suckers of the planet. Why? Because our political system has been bought off by billionaires and big corporations. Hi, Tom Hartman here. Join me 9 to noon on News Radio 1030 KMAS.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, 92.9 FM Thurston County, and streaming online on IDEO. See, video and audio is an IDEO. Is that's a new term there.
Mix them together.
I think I've just come up with something there. KMAS.com is where you'll get all that IDEO. And so you want to tune in quickly. Okay, so the big sports story in our corner of the world is Tom Brady. Guilty. Hang him. 4-game suspension upheld by Roger Goodell in the NFL. And so Brady hits Facebook with denials. Of course, no proof because he destroyed his phone somehow. He broke his phone. It was broken. I don't know where it went. I think I threw it away.
His lawyer told him it was okay. Oh, yeah, go ahead. What a joke.
Yeah. He said he'd done nothing wrong in destroying his old cell phone because he's got a new one.
Oh.
Well, that makes it all better then.
Oh.
Goodness gracious. Now, exactly opposite of us in the other part of the country, they're all defending him.
Oh, yeah, they're saying that's way too much.
Oh, poor Tom. What's this?
Come on. There's been no...
They're jealous. Okay.
Jealous of what?
Of Tom's success.
Oh.
And that It deflated.
Well, listen, did you, in the morning news show before us, they said, and I saw some pictures of this, the snow has finally all melted from Boston. It is almost August.
Yeah.
So people have been miserable in the Northeast.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
So they need something.
They're a little grumpy.
So just give them this. Give them a chance to jump on the bandwagon with Tom. You think people are going to boycott the NFL in the Northeast this year?
Oh, no. They're ballyhooing. But listen, even if, and let's say even when he does his 4-game suspension, it's not going to prohibit New England from making a run into the playoffs. You know, they could win 2 or 3 of those games without him. Or not. Even if they started 0-4, they would still have another 12 games to get back into the race. They have dominated their American League AFL East division. There's no reason to think that they won't this year. Only upstart team out of that whole group is Miami. They have a really bona fide presence, but, you know, Buffalo's backsliding. And I have to tell you about the Jets. Somebody said yesterday that they should make Brady play for the Jets for 4 games.
That would be awesome.
That would serve both teams right.
I'll get you good.
That was pretty good. Anyway, so it's a 4-game suspension on Facebook. They haven't officially legally challenged again, because this was the challenge,
right?
And so there it is. I don't know what's going to happen after this. Now there is a 2-way tie for first place in the American League West. We're shifting to baseball again. The Astros have won 6 of their last 8 games and have moved back into first place, tied with the Angels, who have lost 4 of their last 5. No, Seattle's not in any of this conversation because they're battling Oakland for last place. Lost again to the Arizona Diamondbacks last night, 8-4 the final. Couple of moonshots from Mike Zunino and Robinson Cano, but not enough. Too little, too late.
Right.
So 8-4 was the final, and kind of a decent start, really, for Hisashi Iwakuma. Certainly gave the Mariners a chance to win had their offense lit it up a little bit quicker and earlier in the game, but not to be so. The final game of the series again. In 7:30, our coverage begins this morning. So baseball for you midday with your bologna sandwich.
Ooh, bologna.
I like bologna.
All right, South Sound forecast. Hot. It is going to be very warm for the next week. 48 currently, clear sky. 84 was the high yesterday. And I was saying to myself,
yes,
woof. It is hot. 91 today, 95 tomorrow, and 94 on Friday and Saturday. 90 on Sunday and probably 90 on Monday. So
probably
tough weekend here for heat.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now, from somewhere in the wilderness of the Olympic Peninsula, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
Yeah, no, that's right. Dale's always left out.
Right, not left. What?
Always left out. All right, so I was talking about how hot it is.
How hot is it, Jeff?
Well, it's hot. I just said it. I just said that. Were you listening?
You were saying how hot it was. You're right.
One place where it's not hot, where it's a cool, climate-controlled 72, is Tampa Bay.
What?
To be more specific, Tropicana Field.
Oh,
which is recently awarded the distinction of the worst stadium in baseball.
The
Tropicana Field.
Is that the one with where the outfield kind of ramps up in center field? You got to run up a little hill.
Now I can't see a hill in the picture that was given to me.
One of the outfields has that, and people complain about it all the time.
Texas maybe.
Maybe it's Texas. Yeah.
No view, no breeze, and a lot of obstructed views. Lacks pretty much everything that makes the sport great for fans. 30 out of 30 Tropicana Field. Here's something interesting. O.co is the Oakland Coliseum. O.co. And it only holds 35,000 people.
Okay.
Concourses are super narrow, extra claustrophobic.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they've
Not
got
enough restrooms.
entire section of perfectly fine seating that they have covered up, reserved for the Raiders. So it's a big mess. Turner Field is on the list. I'm trying to get to find where the safe is. Chase Field, Busch Stadium, 23, home of the
St. Louis
Cardinals. Marlins Park, on the other hand, is pretty pretty. It's ranked 22, though. There is a weird sculpture in center field. They had an aquarium that people can see, and people are going to get upset that the baseballs hit the hit those. I'm trying to find where we are here, and it's taking me a long time, so that's good for us. I'm at 13, 12, still not on there.
Oh, Seattle's up there.
Top 10
Top
Nationals.
10. Yeah.
Number 10, Nationals.
That's a good ballpark.
Number 9, the safe. 47,000 folks. The food highlight, surprising, the Mariners Fish and Chips.
Yeah, there's really good food at the Mariner games.
Nothing from the cantina, Edgar's Cantina. That's gone downhill since he's had to do double duty between cooking and coaching.
Yeah, so he's like running back and forth. When the Mariners are out on the field, he's cooking. And then when they come back into bat, he's got to be back in the dugout
to tell him what's going on.
That's why he looks like he's a little bit out of wind when you pan him on the camera.
It doesn't say anything about the garlic fries or the Ichi rolls. I don't even know if they still have those.
I don't think they do Ichi rolls now because, of course, there's no Ichi.
Number 1, AT&T Park, one of the best in the bigs, the beautiful view at San Francisco Giants Stadium.
Yeah.
Stephanie showed me a picture of these cops down in San Francisco that are driving four-wheelers, like dune buggies, kind of.
Yeah.
But the wheels fold, and it turns into a water vehicle.
There you go.
Because there's apparently a lot of crime in the waterways of San Francisco. I don't know if it's people stealing people's baseballs that go into McCovey Cove.
Maybe there's just people are being held up out there.
Congratulations to the safe.
Give me all your paddles. What? I only got 2.
Well, we'll give them both. All right. What else is going on?
Oh, my word. Well, it's the 29th of, we've ripped up July.
Ripped it up.
Now,
Spit it out.
It is still summer, and by golly, the temperatures are going to bear that out. What are the overnight lows? Is it a little cooler than this last batch of 90s that we had, or because the nighttime temperatures stayed up there in the 70s?
Yeah, it felt, it was kind of cool this morning, 50. Yesterday it was about 45 during the overnight.
So we are getting set, as you notice, with no dogs with Jerry this morning. We're keeping them where it's a cool breeze blowing on the canal, very temperate. Even if it's in the 90s, at least there's some breeze blowing, and it's a little bit better than trying to pack your dogs around in this kind of heat. If you can keep them home or keep them comfortable, keep your pets in mind. Again, another good rule of thumb, if you're thinking of walking them or keep them, outside, is that putting the back of your hand on the sidewalk or the asphalt, and if you can hold it there 3 seconds, it's okay. If you can't, then it's too hot for your dogs to put their pads on.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one that you came up with here last time around for the heat wave, and that is really good advice. And man, keep everybody hydrated, yourself and your pets. Lots of water, fresh water, freshen it up, and make sure that you don't stay outside in this stuff too long. It's not hard to convince people to get out of the heat because it's uncomfortable. My word, I was just standing around and I was sweating yesterday, and I knew that this was just the precursor to more to come because we weren't in the 90s yet. So it's going to be a warm, hot week and weekend. Keep it all in mind as we move forward. I hate to be an expert on hot weather, but we're all getting to that level. And we won't even need Brian Williams to show us the way.
No.
Or reminisce about the hot weather that he was there.
I mean, he was there. It was hot I mean, when that asteroid came and killed all the dinosaurs.
Oh, well, the drought in the Midwest.
He was reporting live.
The Dust Bowl.
Oh, yeah, the Dust Bowl. That was tough.
Oh, man.
Those live reports, though, were telling.
All right. Chance to win a gift certificate to the Robin Hood Restaurant and Pub is next.
Wow.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Hi, this is Dale Hubbard, General Manager of Olympic Broadcast and Media. We're looking for a unique person to represent KMAS Radio, along with our dynamic news site and mobile app, KMAS.com. Now, we prefer to hire a person with a proven track record in sales, marketing, or media. However, if you possess great communication skills, are net savvy, and a self-starting, goal-oriented individual, well, we'd love to talk to you. You'll prospect for new businesses while retaining an existing client base, working in a consultancy capacity to businesses in the region, offering radio and web-based advertising opportunities. If you'd like to be working for a small established business that offers an exciting new potential for growth, a lucrative performance-based compensation plan is being offered. And if you're that special person that will make a difference, contact me today. DJ Dale at KMAS.com. I look forward to hearing from you soon.
Not yet signed up for a health plan under the Affordable Care Act? Mason General Hospital and Family of Clinics has a free service to help individuals and families get set up with medical coverage through Washington Health Plan Finder. To get started, visit www.masongeneral.com and click on Washington Health Plan Finder on the homepage. View and compare the various plans offered, find one you like, and then call for assistance in getting registered. Mason General Hospital provides assistance in qualifying and registering for the right plan for you by a simple call to Lee Ayers, Project Supervisor at 432-7766.
Mason General Hospital and Family of Clinics. Equal opportunity provider. Translation services provided.
Mason General.
And local, weekdays from 6 to 9 on 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, and now in Thurston County on 92.9.
What would an extra $250 a month mean to you? For some, it's a little financial breathing room. For others, it's a car payment, a home repair, or help with college tuition. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans, and I've got some great news if you're looking to save money on your mortgage. All it takes is a simple phone call to Quicken Loans at 800-QUICKEN to see if you qualify for the government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. Folks who refinance with HARP can save an average of $250 a month. That's $3,000 a year. Our home loan experts fully understand the HARP guidelines, and they'll walk you through our streamlined process. And for 5 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction. And this year, for the first time, they've also ranked us highest in mortgage servicing. Call 800-QUICKEN or visit QuickenLoans.com.
Visit jdpower.com for award information. Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed law 50 states and MLS number 3030.
Join KMAS News Radio for Cruise at the Creek Car Show. Show off your classic ride, a big poker run, cash barbecue and beer garden on Friday afternoon with a performance by the Cherry Pop and Daddies Friday night. The car show is Saturday from 10 to 3 with hundreds of classics on display. This year, a special salute to the Ford Thunderbird's 60th anniversary. Look for KMAS and come on out to Little Creek Casino and Resort for the Cruise at the Creek 3.
Growth can be an intimidating 6-letter word, especially when the guys upstairs want 7% of it. That's why you need one 8-letter word. Granger. Granger. The G is for growth. From industry specialists to over 1 million products across almost every category, Granger has the resources to help us grow. Now, can you guess what my favorite 4-letter word is? WORK. Let's get back to it. Get it? Got it? Good. Call clickgranger.com or stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, this is Keith Jones from Tee It Up. Check out my golf show this weekend on KMAS News Radio. Now back to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
$6:51.
All right, 6:51 indeed. Yeah, 9 minutes before 7 here on your Wednesday morning, 29th of July, and we'll jump to it here in just a moment or two. It is Daybreak with Jeff and Dale. Thanks for joining us here this morning. We'll have ABC News at the top of the hour. Mary Lynn Foster with local regional news and sports and weather. The weather's hot. Sports, not so much.
Yeah.
So Tom Brady has just been handed down a suspension. And if you would like to have a certificate worth $35 to enjoy the refreshed, renewed menu at the Robin Hood Restaurant and Pub in beautiful Union, give me a call at 462-1041 and tell me how many game suspension Tom Brady was handed by the NFL's Commissioner Roger Goodell yesterday.
Oh, good question.
So if you know how many games Tom Brady has been suspended for, just give us a call this morning at 462-1041, and a $35 gift certificate for the Robin Hood Restaurant and Pub is yours for the taking to enjoy anytime here in the next month. So they've got a new menu, new prices, good selection, neat place, good hangout. This is the time of year you want to hang out. Man, Union is just cool. Forever cool.
Union is cool.
Whoa. Hi, KMAS. You're on the air.
Who's this cool person?
This is Kurt.
What's up, Kurt?
Kurt, baby.
Hey.
I'm thinking you were listening.
You're ready.
Thinking you're right.
You probably knew this anyway, but what is the suspension handed down to the Tom Brady?
A 4-game suspension.
Is that a good just for what he did, or where do you sit on this one?
Oh, I'm thinking it's the minimum they could have slapped him with. I think he did wrong. He knew he was doing wrong.
And then he covered it up.
Yeah.
Just
like Nixon. It all went bad when he covered it up.
Yeah.
You just let it out there, and people love to forgive.
Right.
We love to forgive and help out folks who acknowledge their mistakes.
Yeah, if he'd apologized and said, "I'm sorry," was the wrong thing to do. I was gained unfair advantage. I'll take the punishment. They'd probably gotten a 2-game suspension.
It would have gone away pretty much.
Yeah. But no, you don't want to mess with Tom Terrific.
No.
Oh man. So, Kurt, thank you so much for calling in this morning. You are a winner, my friend, of a $35 gift certificate. I think you and Joan can find a way to spend that.
I think we will.
I'm sure you will. So I'll have that sitting here for you. And thank you for listening, as always.
Thanks, Dale.
All right, Kurt. Talk to you soon.
Bye. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Great place out there. Yeah, you're right. Beautiful views.
Yeah.
Great food.
Darren has done some great stuff there in the last couple of years. I saw some pictures of Hood Canal Events operation going on now, and they give you kayaking adventures or whatever. They had some weddings that they staged out there at Robin Hood over this summer, and pictures were just astounding. That's a thought that you may want to keep in mind. Put your guests up in those little cottages with hot tubs, and then have the wedding outside in the nice foyer area there that they've got all cleaned up and really looking nice. And you're right on the shore of Hood Canal. Beautiful setting. And then go off on your honeymoon, like maybe to another portion of Mason County, and then the guests would be totally happy for a day or two on their own there. They could have a great time. Yeah, just leave them behind. All right. We will give you another chance at another gift certificate to Robin Hood Restaurant and Pub here in just a little while this morning. Events that were significant, musically speaking. Kid Rock and Pamela Anderson, I forgot that they'd gotten married.
Yeah.
I had forgotten about that. This was in 2006 on a yacht off the French resort of Saint-Tropez. How do you pronounce that?
I've heard people say Saint-Tropez. Two people I would not expect to see in a French resort of Saint-Tropez or whatever.
Yeah, Kid Rock and Pamela Anderson. But it only lasted for 4 months. And then the honeymoon was over, pretty much. So that was a significant musical moment there. And also, let's see, moving down into the annals of history, the real music back in the day.
Yeah, 2004.
Yeah.
Blake Shelton came out with this song, Some Beach. I love that song.
Well, just the whole context of it.
Somewhere, and he says it in his drawl, And it sounds like he's saying something else.
Yeah, it does.
But he's not.
Everybody sounds like they're saying something else now, thanks to that song.
Some beach.
All right. The rumor was that she choked to death on a ham sandwich in bed.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
But that is untrue. Although there was a ham sandwich at her bedside, it was untouched. Talking about the passing of Cass Elliot on this date, 1974, one of the mamas and papas, the robust one of the two. Michelle Phillips was the other mama. Doors began a 3-week run at the top of the singles charts with Come On Baby and Light My Fire.
I like the Doors. I liked the Doors as a kid.
Did you?
In high school, we listened to them.
They were like the first dark pop group.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, they're bad boys.
And it was hard not to enjoy the Doors even more if you were a Val Kilmer fan when he portrayed Jim Morrison almost
nailed it.
Exactly.
He nailed it.
He was singing out there. He looked just like him.
Yeah. That was really, really spooky, actually.
You know who's been around forever? The Queen. Queen Mum, Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Well, in 65, she's still out there hoofing around right now. She's like a great-great-grandmother. And in 65, the Beatles film Help premiered. And the Queen was there in 65.
At the premiere. She came out, waved.
Yeah. They always talk about how the Queen and Fidel have outlasted a gazillion of the presidents.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I guess they're a little different the way we structure.
I think you're going to do duet I'm Still Standing. And,
those two?
Yeah, and release that.
That'd be a good one.
That would be a good one.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
We're playing Language Detective today in search of the origin of the whole 9 yards. An in-depth investigation on the Old Farmer's Almanac radio report.
If you're diabetic, this message could change your life. Is your blood sugar out of control even when you do all the right stuff? Are you afraid of diabetic blindness and the risk of amputation, as well as all those other side effects? Well, you should be. Is there anything that could help manage your blood sugar? Nobetes is a natural supplement that may quickly and dramatically lower your blood sugar.
My name is Bob Corder. I've been using Nobetes for about 3.5 to 4 months now. And in the first 3 months, I've actually lowered my blood sugars from 500s down to 139, and then it dropped to 88 to 93.
My name is Kirsten. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and while taking Nobetes, my blood sugar levels dropped from 295 to 115 in just 1 day.
The FDA hasn't evaluated these statements, and Nobetes isn't intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. But for many, it's helped drop their blood sugar. So if you've been evaluated with high blood sugar, don't delay. Evaluate Nobetes now. Call 800-478-9631 and get 2 bottles free. Just cover shipping and handling. Call 800-478-9631. That's 800-478-9631.
With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac radio report for Wednesday, July 29th, the 210th day of the year. The royal wedding of Prince Charles and Lady Diana was on this day in 1981. What's the origin of the phrase, the whole 9 yards? Here's a few explanations that have been offered over the years. 9 yards is the amount of fabric used for an extravagant suit or gown. World War II aircraft ammunition belts were 9 yards long, and in nautical terms, a 3-masted ship at full sail will use 9 yards. The fact is, no one really knows the origin of the expression. There's no mystery about the whole shooting match, the whole ball of wax, and even the whole enchilada. But experts say the whole 9 yards is one of the most prominent language riddles of our time. That's the Old Farmer's Almanac radio report. Learn more online at almanac.com.
1030 KMAS Shelton can also be heard on K281BM Shelton, FM 104.1, and now in Thurston County on 92.9.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Karen Chase. After years of rumors, Afghan officials have finally confirmed top Taliban leader Mullah Omar is dead. ABC's Brian Ross has more.
He had been a top target of the U.S. since American forces invaded Afghanistan in the wake of the 9/11 attacks, but he was able to avoid capture despite that $10 million U.S. reward for information leading to his death or capture, a reward second only to that of Osama bin Laden.
He was killed 2 years ago in a U.S. airstrike. The weather was sunny and calm when a huge pine tree suddenly fell onto a group of children at a day camp in Pasadena, triggering panic and a loud noise. noise.
A big crash and a boom, and then people were running around, screaming, calling 911.
8 children were hurt, 2 critically. Tom Brady tells Facebook friends he did nothing wrong and only destroyed his cell phone after lawyers told him it wouldn't be searched. ABC's Ryan Smith tells us the NFL Players Union is planning to fight the denial of his suspension appeal.
The NFL Players Union telling us they will appeal this case in federal court. And their point will be that this process in many ways was unfair to Tom Brady. They're going to make the argument that because the process was fundamentally unfair, you have to overturn the commissioner's ruling.
Keep your eyes peeled. That advice to South Carolina coastal residents from Coast Guard crews searching for 2 14-year-old Florida boys missing since a fishing trip. The author of a book on survival says it's not silly to hold out hope. ABC's Candace Gibson says family members agree.
Their parents holding out hope here in Jupiter that they might be hanging on to a life vest or a cooler that were on board the boat. They also say these kids are very familiar with the water, learning to swim before they even learned to walk.
The Ohio man who jumped a fence to pet cougars at the Columbus Zoo and posted video of himself saying, "Here, kitty," said he may have acted like an idiot, but he questions his ease of access to the cats. He's being arraigned today on a trespassing charge. This is ABC News.
When you're running your own business, you're bound to be busy. Too busy. Too busy worrying about your budget. Too busy scheduling appointments. Too busy to build a website for your business. And because you're too busy, it has to be easy. And that's where Wix.com comes in. With Wix.com, it's easy for you to create your stunning website. Go to Wix.com and create your website today. It's easy and free. That's Wix.com.
Advance Auto Parts knows what makes a car guy a car guy. It's working through the unexpected surprises that spring up with every project. It's character, and it isn't rattled by a little thing like a dead battery, especially when you can get a new one online at advanceautoparts.com and pick it up in store just 30 minutes later. We'll even install it for free, so you can get back to fixing faster. Advance Auto Parts, for guys who love getting under the hood.
Most vehicles, most locations. See store for details.
Few hospitals are successfully protecting patients from infection. That from Consumer Reports, which found only 6% scored well. ABC's Chuck Sievertson has more.
The spread of infections in hospitals of bacteria like MRSA and C. diff is linked to the overprescribing of antibiotics, says Doris Peter, director of Consumer Reports Health Rating Center. Plus, patients need to take action.
We ask consumers to
75,000 people die each year in hospitals from hospital-acquired infections. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
Mini is recalling 35,000 Cooper and Cooper S hardtops from the 2014 and 15 model years because they don't meet side impact crash test requirements that could put rear seat passengers at a higher risk of injury. Dealers will install more energy absorption material between the rear interior side panels and the body starting next month. Karen Chase, ABC News.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
For KMAS Newsradio.com, I'm Mary Lynn Foster. You'll see some porta potties in downtown Shelton in the near future. The Shelton Poverty Advisory Team this week requested that the City Commission support the implementation of a plan to provide public restrooms in the downtown area, in part to help alleviate the problem of persons using public spaces downtown as restrooms. Community Development Director Steve Goins told the commission more about the recommendation and locations.
The initial phase is a pilot that would establish restrooms downtown that would be provided for a short period of time. Some analysis and consideration could be done as to how well those are received, how well they're maintained, where service demands are more expected based on the outcomes. The 3 locations that were selected, and that was after a fair amount of discussion, is the Brewer Park, the eastern side of our gravel parking lot here at the Civic Center, and in the vicinity of the pump station on Front Street.
The portable units in the downtown area is an interim step until funding for a permanent brick and mortar restroom is identified. The commissioners voted 3-0 in favor of supporting the Shelton Poverty Advisory Team's pilot project. The caution from the commission was to control vandalism to the facilities. As of Monday, Splash of Mason County, in conjunction with Mason General Hospital Foundation, announced they've raised over $94,000 for capital repairs at the Shelton High School pool, which is very close to their fundraising goal of $100,000 with about a week to go. Splash President Jackie McAlevey says they appreciate the outpouring of community support and encourages everyone who wants to help to do so right away. Funds currently being raised will go towards immediate capital repairs needed at the pool facility. Fundraising for future pool repair needs will continue past the end of July. Splash is currently selling hot dogs and soft drinks at Skookum Rotary's Music in the Park. Splash is also sponsoring a half marathon fundraising event on August 15th at the Huff and Puff Trail. Donations can be sent to Splash, P.O. Box 1982, Shelton 98584, or online at masongeneral.com. The Salvation Army is seeking nearly $12,000 in damages from Olympia. The city had notified the Salvation Army in March of last year that a broken pipe causing a sinkhole had been on the charity's property. The Salvation Army then hired a contractor to repair the break, but it was later discovered that the broken pipe hadn't actually been connected to their property. The city covered the costs of the remaining repairs. The Salvation Army is asking the city for the $12,000 that they paid in repair costs. A city representative says the case is under review. For 1030 KMAS, FM 104.1, and in Thurston County on 92.9, I'm Mary Lynn Foster.
Get ready. It's time to tee it up with Keith Jones.
Now, when you have a misdirected focus and you start to really worry about what other people may be thinking about you, or you're worried about your self-concept, your self-image, you're worried that you don't want to embarrass yourself on the first tee, then your mind is way, way away from where it needs to be.
Tee it up with Keith Jones. All right.
Snow melts. Rain falls. Rivers form. This happens all over the world. But when it happens here, something wonderful unfolds. A renewable source of energy, created without releasing even an ounce of CO2 into the Earth's atmosphere.
Mason PUD 3. Clean, renewable, and reliable energy every day.
The Bucks and Royals are road warriors. Hi, everybody. Todd Ant reporting on sports. And the Royals got some late-game heroics to quiet the crowd in Cleveland.
Hosmer swings it, drives it down the right field line, into the corner, and gone! A home run by Eric Hosmer, and the Royals have taken a 2-1 lead in the ninth.
On 610 KCSP, Royals get the 2-1 victory in Cleveland. In Minnesota, the Twins rallied with 4 runs.
Hung on and belted. Deep left field. Jung Ho Ho and a bottle of rum. An upper deck shot. And the Pirates lead at 8-7.
On KDKA, Pirates win 8-7. In Texas, the Rangers scored 5 runs in the first, but the Yankees more than doubled that in the second inning.
Swung on and hit high in the air to deep left. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. It's a grand slam. Chris forever young.
On WFAN, 11 runs in the second, and the Yankees crushed the Rangers 3 touchdowns to 5. 2 of baseball's best young pitchers took the mound on Tuesday. Athletics ace Sonny Gray continued to display his dominance on the road.
Burns will have a play. He'll squeeze it, and Sonny Gray at Dodger Stadium dominates the Dodgers, a complete game 3 hitter.
On KGMZ, the A's ditched the Dodgers 2-0. Gray improves to 11-4. He had 9 strikeouts. The Mets' young star, Noah Syndergaard, was perfect through 6 innings in Flushing, but after a single in the 7th, he was untouchable.
Syndergaard sets the 1-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, strike 3. 9 strikeouts for Syndergaard.
On 710 WOR, Syndergaard's 8 strong innings led the Mets to a 4-0 win over San Diego. The Phillies sent all-star closer Jonathan Papelbon to the Nationals. NFL, after Commissioner Roger Goodell upheld Tom Brady's 4-game suspension, the league reduced Steelers running back Le'Veon Bell's suspension to 2 games. Todd Ant, ABC Sports.
For Newsradio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, 92.9 FM, Thurston County, and streaming audio and video on KMAS.com. I'm Dale Hubbard. Hey, good morning. Welcome to it. A Wednesday, 29th of July. embattled New England quarterback Tom Brady, defending himself with a 507-word Facebook post, boo-hooing and crying, and said that he only replaced his broken phone with a new one after his lawyers told the NFL they wouldn't be getting it. Not the NFL said they didn't need it. He said his lawyers told him that they weren't going to give it to the NFL, so go ahead and throw it away. In fact, that'd be a great idea, Tom. Just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. So, Well, anyway, he's suspended for 4 games, and the investigation into whether they used improperly inflated footballs apparently confirmed after a reinvestigation, and Roger Goodell, the commissioner, upheld the suspensions on Tuesday. Brady says he respects the commissioner's authority, but it's not about me, man. I don't want unfair discipline to become the precedent for other players.
Sure.
So I'm fighting this. I'm fighting it because for the other players down the line who cheat so that they don't get railroaded by the commissioner. Man. Mariners lose a game to the Arizona Diamondbacks 8-4. Last night in Seattle, and the final game of the 3-game series against the Arizona Diamondbacks, and they're on a 4-game winning streak, so that tells you how the other 2 games went.
Yeah.
Is this afternoon. It is Felix Hernandez on the hill for Seattle. First pitch at 12:37 today, so a little afternoon matinee baseball for you, and we'll begin our coverage at 11:30 this morning. Other quick sports newts and notes for you this morning. I'm putting all my words into one. I'm being more efficient.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm deflating my tongue. I don't know which is coming first. But it's the big Seafair hydroplane races this weekend.
Oh, okay.
Heads up for you travelers. Don't go near Seattle this weekend. It is a heck of a good time. What a party. Anyway, out at Lake Washington, Saturday and Sunday, Seafair Hydroplane Unlimited Hydros will be going through time trials on Saturday, and then the big race is on Sunday all day long, and it's going to be a scorching hot weekend along the shores of Lake Washington at the famed Stan Sayers pits. Only $400 to park your boat along the boom.
Yeah,
only
if the tickets are still there. There is other locations that charge by the foot.
Yeah,
for your yachts. 52, you'll get sunburn if you head up there this weekend. You don't even have to be out in the sun and you'll get sunburn.
You just got to be watching TV, you'll get sunburn.
90 today, 94 tomorrow, 93 on Friday, 94 on Saturday, 90 on Sunday, and maybe even Monday. Hot one. Hot one in the summertime.
Clothing optional this weekend, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I like where you're going with this.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email, or Facebook. Now, from the capital of the great state of Washington, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
Sun's out, bun's out.
So I guess the question is it truly clothing optional? I saw a lady with a clothing optional option ramping up there across the parking lot. What's the name of that little plaza behind McDonald's? We went through this yesterday. Gateway Plaza. Gee, many.
I think it's Gateway.
Anyway, bikini. Throwing her top on as she's entering a business. And then I thought, well, okay. And then did my business, and I came back, and there she is again throwing a top on, because apparently she'd forgotten something and had to go out to the car.
What was her bottoms?
Bikini? Well, I don't know. I mean, it was less than shorts. More than a bikini bottom, but less than shorts.
Huh.
Kind of a full elastic coverage thing.
Like boxer briefs.
Tighter
even than those. Holy moly.
But so anyway, it was just I thought, but it might be my age, a little inappropriate to be prancing around the parking lot like that, but that was just me, and she seemed to be okay with it. So
well, Good for them.
Yeah, but you think, I mean, that's just the first sign of the heat wave.
Oh, yeah.
There'll be people with bikinis everywhere today. People who shouldn't be wearing bikinis.
And folks, maybe, yeah.
That should. Most of the ones that should
don't.
And those that shouldn't do.
Sure.
Why is that? I wonder. Is that human nature?
I think probably because everybody, the folks that maybe they are comfortable enough. And oftentimes you see that people who, for whatever reason, are in shape and do have very toned physiques, have very low or limited self-esteem, whereas other folks are comfortable in their bodies and they could
care less
what you think.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go.
Coeur d'Alene police investigating after 3 goats were stabbed at a city-owned water well.
Oh, man.
This is in Coeur d'Alene again. Creme TV reports that one of the animals was found dead and nearly decapitated yesterday at the well. Another had to be put down because of its injuries. Goat owner has a contract with the city, and you've seen this maybe out and about. The goats will go out and they eat the weeds.
Yeah.
And it's a lot healthier because the goats like to eat. You might as well.
Yeah, and then
chew them up.
They do that, yeah, and that's better than using gas or whatever for a lawnmower, and it's efficient and it's good for everybody. It's good. It's a good deal. And so goats serve a useful purpose, to be sure, and you don't want to mess with that.
Boy, here's a strange story. Mark Palmer Edgecombe, a diversity advisor. This is in London.
Diversity advisor. Okay.
Has had a proposal in to build a women's museum. To build this museum. In London, and it was approved last October, and so they're getting ready, and he's very happy, and people are like, oh my gosh, and this guy says, we are going to celebrate the achievements of the women in the East End of London in this proposal. The museum also promised to share the stories of women workers in factories and sweatshops, but
yeah,
the guy says, we did plan to do a museum about the social history of women, but as the project developed, we decided a more interesting angle was from the perspective of the victims of Jack the Ripper.
What?
It is absolutely not celebrating the crime of Jack the Ripper, but looking at why and how the women got into the situation in the first. So this women's museum that this guy was going to make.
Yeah.
They released the storefront, the logo, and it's a Jack the Ripper museum. And people
what the?
Like, we didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, that's not what we wanted to celebrate.
And again, he makes the point to not glorify or glamorize Jack the Ripper. Quite the opposite. Presents the women of the East End's story for the first time. But as you can imagine, people are a little outraged.
Sure, they would be.
We're going to have this beautiful, awesome women's museum, and then all of a sudden it's a thing about Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, that's who.
Marketing. That's marketing. Market research said that.
Well, here we are clear across the pond talking about it, so apparently it worked.
True, it worked.
It worked really well. All right. Tacoma dump briefly closed yesterday, Jeff. Someone, you know how they ask you when you go up there to dump your refuse at those sites, they go, what do you got, yard waste or just typical can of garbage? Oh, I got some explosives in here. See ya.
Huh?
What? Sir? Anyway, city bomb experts had to remove an explosive to be deactivated. So they had to close down the dump yesterday because there was an explosive in the hazardous waste station.
Yikes.
Yikes is right. The plan is to operate as scheduled today.
Okay.
So if you got turned away yesterday, reload.
That place is such a dump.
Pack that stuff again today.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom31.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 31.com. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom31.com.
Hey, Paul, looks like we're coffee twins. We both got McCafes.
Oh, you mean my Bean Brew?
Yeah, your fresh brewed McCafe coffee.
No, I think you mean my Mojo. My Java, my Morning Joe.
Okay, I get it. You want to use coffee slang. Well, let's drink this toasty roasty, Joe Bro.
Whoa, Tom. Don't get all weird on me.
My bad.
Whatever you call it, you'll love a rich, smooth, fresh brewed McCafe coffee from McDonald's. And now get any size McCafe coffee for just $1.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
A la carte only. Prices and participation may vary. Limited time offer.
This is the sound of a Minion. This is the sound of a Minion peeling back a Minion Mania Instant Win food prize game piece at McDonald's. And this is the sound of you winning $250,000 in the Minion Mania online sweepstakes.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
When it comes to joy, we all speak the same language. This summer, if you're 13 or older and a U.S. resident, come play Minion Mania at McDonald's. You can play in the restaurant only until August 3rd. And check out the new movie Minions only in theaters. No purchase necessary, void or prohibited. Official rules in restaurant and at minions@mcd.com.
When news breaks, he's there at the heart of the story.
There is no better way to show you the scope of our lead story than from the air. Feeding is the word we're taking right now. It is, in fact, a taste of freedom.
When lives change, he's there to listen.
You want your child to be able to walk outside and feel safe and feel like they're important.
When it really matters, you can depend on him.
There's a lot to try and understand here and much to learn.
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Inventory is everything. Product sitting on shelves is money sitting on shelves. Managing our inventory is key. That's why I use Keep Stock Solutions from Grainger. Keep Stock Solutions help keep just the right amount of inventory on hand. Keep Stock Solutions help keep the cost down. Keep Stock Solutions keep me a happy camper. What's the key to better inventory management? Keep Stock Solutions from Grainger. Get it? Got it? Good. Visit Grainger.com/keepstock for more information. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, this is 35th District Representative Drew McEwen, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
Good morning to you. It's Daybreak here at KMAS. Coming up today on the big show, just after the 8 o'clock news, Toby Kevin will be in for our ongoing conversations about poverty here in the community. Expected along with Toby, Tom Davis, to talk about veterans and Veterans Court and the progress that is making here in the Mason County judicial system. Port a call after that with John Dobson and Dick Taylor. And last week we talked with them and they had some great news and then some news that they couldn't share, although they felt that they would be close. And that could come today with some big news happening up at the port areas. Tomorrow, we will again have Deb Riley on the air talking about bats. I went and picked Kaiser up yesterday from daycare, whatever, and our daycare lady, her backyard sits up against kind of an open brushy area. And I said, boy, do you guys sleep with your windows and doors open at night? She says, yeah. I said, oh, I got to tell you this story about bats. I scared her to death.
Oh, no.
She's like, thanks a lot for that. And I don't remember.
There's Jeff. I'm spreading goodwill on behalf of Daybreak.
I'm just trying to share the good word of Daybreak to the masses. And anyway, scared her to death. And it's important information to know. If you have even a 1/2 inch by 1/4 inch hole in any of your screens, which could happen in a second, that's big enough for these little bats we have here in the county, these little small brown bats, to flutter on in.
Oh, you betcha they would, too, if they could.
That's some scary stuff.
They'll be looking to seek respite from the heat, like everybody. All kinds of critters will. You'll find spiders in your house. You'll find lots of unusual kinds of creatures, all trying to get out of the heat like you will be doing later this afternoon, tomorrow, and on into the weekend, as we have temperatures up into the 90s in the forecast. Uncomfortable when we get this hot, and it is something to keep in mind as you make your plans accordingly. The ill-fated USFL has indefinitely postponed its next season, and that was beginning going into the 1987 season. Still haven't come back from that one.
Yeah, the nail in the coffin of the USFL is your leader in the GOP presidential race, Donald J. Trump.
Oh, really?
An interesting documentary, Who Killed the USFL, on the 30 for 30s. And it was him. He came in and took over the New York team. The Bandits Bandit Ball was in Florida. That was Burt Reynolds' team. But Trump had a team. Took over maybe the Jersey team. Anyways, he pushed it too hard to go against the NFL. They felt as though with a couple more of those spring seasons, they really could get something going and get an alternative sport in a different season. But he wanted to go up against the NFL and start all these bidding wars, and it was just too much for a young. I mean, it was their second season.
Yeah. And so the USFL federal jury awarded only $1. They had tried to get $1.5 billion in damages from the NFL. So, the NFL has been deflecting arrows
for a long
time. The last arrow so far is Tom Brady's lawyer.
In that documentary, the director has that dollar check, and he showed it to Trump because he got a chance to sit with him.
Yeah.
He just walks away. Pretty much that's the end of the interview.
Yeah. So he got beat in that one. Yeah. And, these rich guys, they don't let anything go. Trump's probably got designs on buying the NFL. Something.
I'm sure.
Something. He ain't done with that one yet.
Confidence is a great thing. Overconfidence is a little hard to swallow at times.
Oh, yeah.
He has got it in spades. How do you get to that level of confidence?
Well, I think when your bank account hits double digits in the billion category, you might be overconfident. You feel a little bit like Teflon.
Literally the Teflon Don. Then.
Yeah. Goodness gracious, you've got probably a whole building full of lawyers.
I guess so. And that maybe that is why we see celebrity in all aspects, political, sports, anything. They feel as though they are well above the law because their lawyers keep them well above the law.
Yeah. Well, money.
I never thought about that.
Money is probably the bottom line of all that. At some level.
All right. What else was going on?
There's a lot of stuff. A guy that I think who you and I have talked about in the past, Tom Snyder, passed away on the state in 2007. He was 71, best known for his work as a news anchor on NBC, they said, in the 70s and 80s, but more known for his late night intimate interviews with a cigarette smoke curling up in the darkness of the studio. And he always liked the ambiance to be kind of mellow. And I just remember him as he was kind of inspirational in a sense that he had really good in-depth interviews. And he also would sit on that set by himself, no props, nothing, and just kind of pass the time on some of those shows when they didn't have guests. And he talked on topics that were newsworthy at the time. And he had good insight and well-spoken. And kind of a little bit of a rebel attitude about it all. Always challenged what was considered mainstream and didn't just accept it without a question or two. So we lost Tom Snyder on the state 2007.
I remember watching him.
Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston, this is their wedding anniversary. 15th if they'd stayed together, but they were in 2005. John Voight's kid is the one that got in the way of that. Through the day.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
For KMAS Newsradio.com, I'm Mary Lynn Foster. You'll see some porta potties in downtown Shelton in the near future. The Shelton Poverty Advisory Team this week requested that the City Commission support the implementation of a plan to provide public restrooms in the downtown area, in part to help alleviate the problem of persons using public spaces downtown as restrooms. Community Development Director Steve Goins told the commission more about the recommendation and locations.
The initial phase is a pilot that will establish restrooms downtown that will be provided for a short period of time. Some analysis and consideration could be done as to how well those are received, how well they're maintained, where service demands are more expected based on the outcomes. The 3 locations that were selected, and that was after a fair amount of discussion, is the Brewer Park, the eastern side of our gravel parking lot here at the Civic Center, and in the vicinity of the pump station on Front Street.
The portable units in the downtown area is an interim step until funding for a permanent brick and mortar restroom is identified. The commissioners voted 3-0 in favor of supporting the Shelton Poverty Advisory Team's pilot project. The caution from the commission was to control vandalism to the facilities. As of Monday, Splash of Mason County, in conjunction with Mason General Hospital Foundation, announced they've raised over $94,000 for capital repairs at the Shelton High School pool, which is very close to their fundraising goal of $100,000 with about a week to go. Splash President Jackie McAlevey says they appreciate the outpouring of community support and encourages everyone who wants to help to do so right away. Funds currently being raised will go towards immediate capital repairs needed at the pool facility. Fundraising for future pool repair needs will continue past the end of July. Splash is currently selling hot dogs and soft drinks at Skookum Rotary's Music in the Park. Splash is also sponsoring a half marathon fundraising event on August 15th at the Huff and Puff Trail. Donations can be sent to Splash, P.O. Box 1982, Shelton 98584, or online at masongeneral.com. The Salvation Army is seeking nearly $12,000 in damages from Olympia. The city had notified the Salvation Army in March of last year that a broken pipe causing a sinkhole had been on the charity's property. The Salvation Army then hired a contractor to repair the break, but it was later discovered that the broken pipe hadn't actually been connected to their property. The city covered the costs of the remaining repairs. The Salvation Army is asking the city for the $12,000 that they paid in repair costs. A city representative says the case is under review. For 1030 KMAS, FM 104.1, and in Thurston County on 92.9, I'm Mary Lynn Foster.
Hi, I'm Ken Slater, the Roof Doctor. If you're like me, your family's important, so make sure that they're well taken care of. One of the best ways to do that is to provide a safe and warm home to live in. For over 50 years, the Roof Doctor has been helping families stay safe and warm by building roofs that last for generations. Our teams have some of the most experienced roofers in the area, and we only use the highest quality materials to keep your family safe, warm, and dry. That's the Roof Doctor. Give us a call.
Take KMAS wherever you go with our new free KMAS mobile app. It's a free download from either your Apple or Android device. Check out the latest news, connect with KMAS, and even listen wherever you have a signal. Search KMAS in your app store and download our free KMAS app today.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch Daybreak live. Follow the link on KMAS.com or search KMAS Radio on YouTube. For Newsradio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, 92.9 FM, Thurston County, and streaming video and audio this morning on KMAS.com. I'm Dale Hubbard. Diamondbacks 8, Mariners 4. Not so awesome results as Zanino and Cruz deliver big moon shots over the outfield wall, but too little, too late. Big offensive output by the Arizona team, and Seattle on the short end of that one as they were the game before. And so 0-2 on this series and a chance to salvage one win before hitting the road. It's an afternoon matinee, get-out-of-town game, and Felix is on the hill for Seattle, looking for win number 13 on the season. We begin our coverage at 11:30 this morning with the first pitch scheduled for 12:40. My mistake. I thought it was 12:37.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry.
Get it right.
Okay. It is time. So here's one of the headlines that are integrity. Time for Brady to admit he cheated and save the NFL from a civil war. Let's get to the most important part of all this. Tom Brady destroying his cell phone. In its decision to deny Brady's appeal of the 4-game suspension, the NFL alleges the Patriots quarterback did willfully obstruct the investigation, citing the cell phone. On the day he was supposed to meet with the investigator, Brady stuck his phone in a blender, or he hit it with a chainsaw, or he gave it to his assistant to destroy, which is the real true story there, or something like that. However, he did it. He obliterated the phone. So go back to the league's investigation. The cops of the NFL wanted to talk to Brady, and Brady knew they would likely ask about the phone. So what did he do? He got rid of it. Now, does that admit guilt? In some level, somewhere, some way, he knew they wanted to look at it. And yet he chose to destroy it the day that they were coming to knock on the door. Now, he didn't have to turn the phone over. He could have told the NFL to bug off. But it's not about rights or what's legal. It's about appearance. Why would someone who's not guilty nuke his phone? All he had to do was just say no. And he did. But so then why did he go on and go ahead and destroy the phone after that? It goes back to an old saying, the cover-up is worse than the crime, and that's really the truth.
And that's what we were just talking about on the air with our winner of Robinhood gift certificate earlier, Kurt, and he was talking about that, we love redemption stories.
Yeah.
And just admit it. And it's not like what's the other bad thing about this is that we have an understanding of the way the Patriots play football.
Yeah.
We have seen shenanigans in the past.
Yes.
And this more shenanigans just doesn't help the storyline of the Patriot squad.
Well, and so now Brady has chosen to align himself with the Players Association, the union. So then he'll get their backing, and then thus the term Civil War, because now you're going to have the Players Association battling the institution of the NFL about this particular player's rights.
And he has, whether he knew it or not, or whether the rest of the players and teammates know it or not, he has brought them all into it by saying, listen, I'm doing this for you guys.
Yeah. It's totally putting a spin on it.
Yeah.
And, he is bringing down the whole franchise by just not admitting guilt, and which he never would have really had to. He could have just not apologizing.
And now there were rules, and there was a rule that you couldn't inflate the balls at a certain thing.
Yeah, there's parameters that the balls stay within. Now this year, the balls are going to be randomly checked before, during, and after every game, all season long. Randomly, random checks.
Much like Spygate, you kind of go, well, it's a law that's not, it's almost like our conversation with Jason Dose the other day about the trash cans.
Yeah.
It's a law that's on the books, but it's not an enforceable law. So you kind of can go, gray area.
Uh-huh.
And he could have just moved on from there. And says, boy, now that I think this is a great thing and we should all strive for this.
His statement is, I did nothing wrong, which is, again, deceptive, because he didn't do anything wrong, but he told some other guys to do something wrong.
Yeah, these poor...
I didn't do anything wrong. Those guys did something wrong.
These poor hanger-oners who feel a little bit of the spotlight.
Yeah. Oh, Tom Brady talks to me, knows by my first name.
Tom Brady knows my name.
Yeah.
What, Tom? I'll do anything for you.
Bet. It's just such a silly deal. And you got to knock people off pedestals sometimes. And,
Do you think
I wish that if he, by challenging this, that there would be another 4 games. If you go, okay, you challenge it and you lose again, it's another 4 games.
Sure.
But there's nothing on, he's not losing anything by challenging this.
Right.
It just miffs me.
Do you think the internet has helped bring a lot more of this
to light and to more acceptable conversations of people in power getting their just desserts.
I think that's
we're seeing it a lot more.
We're seeing a lot of everything.
It's
more.
hard to.
Politics are going to be the next thing that's going to be.
Back when it was only 3 networks,
pulled back. Yeah,
it was a lot easier to kind of push stuff under the rug.
Yeah. No, we're knowing too much about the people that run our country. Too much about people who entertain us. We know too much about our neighbors. Everything is free. I mean, everything is accessible, and I don't know how far this is going to spin, but man, you better take care of your backyard.
You're right. Well, there's a new law in the books in Seattle, right? That the garbage collectors look through your trash if you're not recycling or composting properly.
Oh, you're going to be in trouble.
52 out there now, clear and warmer than yesterday. 90. We're going to be at 90 today. 95 tomorrow and Friday and Saturday and Sunday. It'll be back at 90. Monday, expect to be 90 as well.
Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now from the shores of Hood Canal, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. Daybreak. We appreciate your comments and conversations on all of our stories at KMAS.com. And if there's ever anything you want to send to Daybreak at KMAS.com, that's our email address, comes right into the studio. And we can have that information, and we'll talk about it for sure. We got to talk confirmation from Richard Buchholz about the 6th annual sale and swap for the Mason County or the Shelton Rock and Mineral Society. August 15th is when that's going to be. He's going to come on.
Big rock show, man.
In about 2 weeks. And I told him, I says, we're filming these now, so please bring some rocks to show the camera.
Yes.
So that'll be kind of
great idea.
Yeah.
We never thought of people bringing props.
No. And now if you come on the air, please, that would be awesome.
You got to get that Captain Megawatt or whatever his name was.
Oh, yes, we do. We have to get them dressed up to come on down here.
Falls Grove. And
you know who we need to get on the camera?
Who?
Is Jack, the dog.
Oh, yes. I don't think that would be hard to do.
I don't think so.
Get Jack in here because the school's about ready to
just
start.
Trying to get him in the full screen. That'd be the tough one.
Well, yeah, you have to pull back the camera a little bit.
Tomorrow, Dale Cramp, Yesteryear Car Club president, and Tom Lumbaum will be here.
Yes.
To talk about the Yesteryear Little Creek Casino Car Show Cruise of the Creek. Also, we'll talk about the poker run that's on the 31st and a special couple laps at the Ridge right before the Cherry Poppin' Daddies at the Little Creek event.
Man, what a big weekend. Pretty ideal weather, maybe a little warmer than what you'd like. Last year, we ran into one heck of a windstorm in the afternoon during the car show. Now, we're about a week or two later than last year's show, date-wise, but that was unprecedented. I mean, it really just out of nowhere. It was a nice day. Comfortable. Everybody was in shirt sleeves, and then the next thing you know, the wind started kicking, and it was kicking more, and then pretty soon people started tying down their tents, and then we tied down our tent, and the wind was so fierce it actually bent the frame of the tent.
Yeah,
snapped the frame of the tent.
I do remember that. Wow,
that's a ferocious wind. Now those tents act like a big kite. If the wind gets up underneath them, and away it goes, but. I'd never had that happen before. I mean, it was really blowing, and there were things blowing down the sidewalk and all kinds of stuff. We don't anticipate that this weekend.
No,
it
just
will be
hot.
So make sure to pack your water bottle with you.
Come on by the tent, cool off in the shade of the tent.
We'll keep the 10 by 10 open for free shade standing.
Oh.
No charge.
Look at you. You're so generous.
Feeling benevolent this week.
7:45 here at KMAS.
Free shade standing.
Free shade standing.
But don't stay too long because there's other people who want that shade too,
There's no sitting.
No sitting.
It's just standing.
Well, we'll try to set up on the grass, and they can sit on the grass.
There we go.
How's that sound?
Dale's doing the 40s cars. I'm doing the 50s cars.
Yeah, we're judging.
And
again.
we will, that's going to be a great time.
Judge not, lest ye be judged. Or something. Hey, listen, we are giving away gift certificates like they're like pancakes in the park or something. I don't know. So the Robin Hood Restaurant and Pub and Darren, the new owner of the Robin Hood Restaurant and Pub, has changed the menu. He's cleaned the place up a little bit, changed the look of it a little. This is the time of year you go out on the deck in the evening and eat. Oh, man. So $35 gift certificates. If you haven't gotten one from me yet, give a call this morning, 462-1041, and we'll lay a Robin Hood Restaurant and Pub gift certificate worth $35 on you just for being a fan of the show this morning. How's that?
It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, you don't even have to do any backflips or deflate any footballs or anything like that.
They could say they're doing backflips. I mean, it's on the radio. Hi, KMAS. You're on the radio with us this morning. Who are we talking to?
Good morning. It's Deborah.
Hi, Deborah. How are you?
Doing well this morning. It's sunny.
Yeah, already, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Deborah, I have a very simple. I don't have any questions.
No, you didn't
for
do any questions.
I have no question. So, are you familiar with the Robin Hood? Have you been there before?
I'm familiar, and we've been wanting to try it out.
Okay. Well, here's your great opportunity with a $35 gift certificate. That'll get you a good start on the menu.
You bet. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much. We got all the information we need, Jeff?
I think so.
Okay, Deborah, I'm going to let you go ahead and have your Wednesday, but make sure to stop by here sometime soon and pick up your free gift certificate.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for calling. Thanks for listening this morning.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
747 here at KMAS. We're talking about politicians and busy birthday for a couple politicians, wives, I should say. Bob Dole's birthday was just the other day. Well, it's Elizabeth Dole's birthday.
Is it?
Yeah, she's 79.
Well, you know, somebody had birthdays, both husband and wife, yesterday. I'll have to look back and see.
Okay. Marilyn Quayle.
Dan Quayle's
wife. She's 66.
And how do you spell potato? Never mind.
Don't start because I'll mess it up.
Okay, all right. Never mind.
He added.
I gotta look.
Did he add the E? He had no E.
He added the E.
Oh, you little kid, you're so cute.
Because
let me go up and fix this.
A mind is a thing, and a thing is a. I don't know.
Ken Burns, documentary filmmaker. He did the Civil War series. He did the jazz series. I'm pretty sure he did that 10-part baseball series. Ken Burns. Great documentarian. Weird hair.
Well, no weirder than some presidential candidates, what I'm thinking of.
Actually, the picture that I just Googled of Ken Burns kind of looked like that. He reminds me, let's see. I thought he looked like someone. Peter Jennings, it would have been his birthday, passed in 2005.
I still miss him. You know, I don't know what it is, but I thought he was maybe the best newscaster.
Was he the smoker?
Yeah.
He died of cancer?
He quit smoking, and then after 9/11, he started smoking again.
Mm-hmm.
And he's originally a Canadian, and but was on the CBS Evening News or ABC News forever, and just seemed to be that calming, the right guy to deliver. It was, yeah, that was so. This was his birthday then. Born in 1938, passed in 2005,
huh.
And
talking about relapsing, if you will.
Yeah,
Macklemore, rapper from Seattle, spent some time in Olympia.
Yeah,
has revealed that he relapsed last year. The rapper opened up about falling back into some old patterns and held it together for a while. But, and this is a story that I hear constantly, he stopped going to his meetings. He was burnt out. He was super stressed. He wasn't sleeping. Last year, you know, he had that thrift shop song. He was all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so he wanted to escape, he says. He got clean at 25. I think he's around my age. That's what it is. So that's what's going on. But he was talking to People magazine about he's a father now.
Yeah.
And so he's 32. So he's back on the straight and narrow, but he did have a little bit of a relapse. That's tough stuff, dealing with that kind of
for sure.
Did I mention the phones that can detect depression in their users?
You told me about it, but we never got to it on the radio.
A smartphone can tell you a lot about its owner, like their schedule, their contacts, their social media presence, and now their mental health.
That's amazing.
Pretty scary to ask me if technology is, going to impact us in a lot of ways. Here's one. According to a study published in the Journal of Medical Internet Research, smartphones can help determine whether the users are depressed. Huh? Yeah, it's out of Northwestern University. And they track geographical, phone usage, and behavioral data using a sensor called Purple Robot. The sensor tracks users' activities and compares them to their common patterns that they find in depressed people, such as less mobility through geographical space, irregular daily routine, more frequent phone usage. Researchers able to determine if the user was depressed with 86% accuracy.
Wow.
That's pretty good. Our main motivation for this and the following studies is to find out if we can rely on objective information collected from individuals' mobile phone sensors to detect whether they are depressed and to estimate the severity of their depressive symptoms. The researchers hope this will be a promising way to monitor mental health without requiring much intrusion or effort. Sounds like a little intrusion already going on there.
Yeah.
My question is, do we know if they're monitoring your phone or not? Do you have to sign up for it, or does it just randomly grab phones and, there's a guy that's ready to bubble over?
Quick, grab him. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Join KMAS News Radio for Cruise at the Creek Car Show. Show off your classic ride, a big poker run, cash barbecue, and beer garden on Friday afternoon with a performance by the Cherry Pop and Daddies Friday night. The car show is Saturday from 10 to 3 with hundreds of classics on display. This year, a special salute to the Ford Thunderbird's 60th anniversary. Look for KMAS and come on out to Little Creek Casino and Resort for the Cruise at the Creek 3.
The City of Lacey Parks and Recreation presents Lacey in Tune, summer concerts in the park. Enjoy local bands as well as regional acts. Tuesday evenings offer children's entertainers. Wednesdays at noon and Saturdays at 7, enjoy a great mix of high-energy music at Huntermer Park in Woodland Square. For more information on each week's musical lineup, visit the City of Lacey online.
Lacey Parks and Recreation.
Never know how. If an overflowing trash can or decorative mailbox have felt the wrath of your rear bumper, it's time to pick up the Peak Wireless Backup Camera now at Napa for only $79. Not only is it half off the regular price, it's easy to install, which is more than we can say for a new mailbox. The Peak Wireless Backup Camera, just $79. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 7/31/15.
Hey, this is Debbie Gibson on Daybreak News Radio KMAS.
Thanks, Debbie. Now, I don't know, was Debbie in Sharknado too?
She could have been. I lost track of Debbie Gibson.
Sharknado 3 just came out.
I always have visions of tomatoes when you say Sharknado.
Sharknado, tomato. Well, it got a... they just get a gazillion famous people to be on these shows. It's amazing, these Sharknado deals. I mean, Sharknado 3, just the amount of stars, and again, we were talking political.
So is that a cross
entertainment,
between a shark and a what?
Well, the deal is that they're in the first one. I've never seen it, but I'm just going to go on some assumptions based solely on the name.
Okay.
Something happens in the waters, in the oceans, and causes a big tornado to happen. And the tornado is spinning. This doesn't make sense, though, because aren't tornadoes on land and hurricanes are in the water?
I don't know.
Regardless, the
land sharks.
there are land sharks.
So kind of a cross between a shark and a tornado.
No, the tornado picked up a bunch of sharks
and put them in a pool, public pool.
It's spinning around. It's like a spinning death of a tornado sharknado.
Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious! I'm scared. Mommy.
There's pretty amazing.
All right, and Sharknado 3 is out.
It just came out like last week,
and I'm missing it.
They're working on a 4 already. I think Matt Lauer, Savannah Guthrie were on it.
Did I say?
Michelle Bachman was on it.
The whole movie industry is going to hell in a handbasket. One of the old elder statesmen now of moviedom, one of the old directors or old stars or something, because of all these sci-fi movies and all the Marvel comic book movies and all these everything is all like nothing is no regular storylines, no real life, like, Molly met Sammy and they kind of did a tit for tat and then they end up getting married at the end. I didn't know nothing like that anymore.
No.
Although this new comedy Shipwreck looks like it's kind of a romantic comedy. Looks like it'd be fun to watch.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't either.
I don't know anything. I don't know anything about.
The blonde gal is the new funny and
Trainwreck.
Trainwreck. What'd I say?
Shipwreck.
Oh, Trainwreck.
Amy Schumer.
Shipwreck is Goldie Hawn, I think. And
that was Overboard.
Yeah, that was Overboard, and I think I am overboard right now.
So Mark Cuban is in Sharknado 3. He's
Big
the president. Ann Coulter is the vice president in this Sharknado.
Okay. Who's the president?
Mark Cuban.
Well, who else would be president?
That's funny.
He might run now. You give him that.
Give him that idea. He's like, man, I like this.
Yeah. I'll replace maybe Cuban Trump.
Holy moly, Anthony Weiner. Remember him? The New York congressman?
Yeah.
He's in it as a NASA director.
How do they
I may have to check this movie out.
Yeah.
Bill Engvall's in it. Bill Engvall coming to the Lucky Eagle Casino.
Yes, he is.
Here's your sign. Michael Bolton, but
and
not
he's
that one.
Smarter than a fifth grader? No.
No.
That's the mustachioed.
That is Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah.
He's the guy that if you've got flamingos in your yard, you're a redneck.
Yeah. You might be a redneck.
You might be a redneck.
Now, who was the guy that was always drinking the booze? And
that was... I thought he was the funniest.
Yeah. What's becoming him?
Well, we can't even remember his name.
No.
White something? Tom White?
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
We're playing Language Detective today in search of the origin of the whole 9 yards. An in-depth investigation on the Old Farmer's Almanac radio report.
If you're diabetic, this message could change your life. Is your blood sugar out of control even when you do all the right stuff? Are you afraid of diabetic blindness and the risk of amputation, as well as all those other side effects? Well, you should be. Is there anything that could help manage your blood sugar? Nobetes is a natural supplement that may quickly and dramatically lower your blood sugar.
My name is Bob Corder. I've been using Nobetes for about 3.5 to 4 months now. And in the first 3 months, I've actually lowered my blood sugars from 500s down to 139, and then it dropped to 88 to 93.
My name is Kirsten. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and while taking Nobetes, my blood sugar levels dropped from 295 to 115 in just 1 day.
The FDA hasn't evaluated these statements, and Nobetes isn't intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. But for many, it's helped drop their blood sugar. So if you've been evaluated with high blood sugar, don't delay. Evaluate Nobetes now. Call 800-478-9631 and get 2 bottles free. Just cover shipping and handling. Call 800-478-9631. That's 800-478-9631.
With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report for Wednesday, July 29th, the 210th day of the year. The royal wedding of Prince Charles and Lady Diana was on this day in 1981. What's the origin of the phrase, the whole 9 yards? Here's a few explanations that have been offered over the years. 9 yards is the amount of fabric used for an extravagant suit or gown. World War II aircraft ammunition belts were 9 yards long, and in nautical terms, a 3-masted ship at full sail will use 9 yards. The fact is, no one really knows the origin of the expression. There's no mystery about the whole shooting match, the whole ball of wax, and even the whole enchilada. But experts say the whole 9 yards is one of the most prominent language riddles of our time. That's the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report. Learn more online at almanac.com.
The Dave Ramsey Show is live from noon to 3, weekdays on 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, and now in Thurston County on 92.9.
ABC News, I'm Karen Chase. A stinging rebuke from New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft, calling the denial of Tom Brady's suspension appeal unfathomable and the NFL's investigation into Deflategate flawed.
The league still has no hard evidence of anybody doing anything to tamper with the PSI levels of footballs.
Kraft also said he unequivocally supports Tom Brady. Brady defended himself on Facebook, saying he did nothing wrong. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell denied the appeal of his 4-game suspension, but the Players Union plans to fight for Brady in court. Investigators in Pasadena still have no idea what made a giant pine tree suddenly topple onto a group of children at a summer day camp in Pasadena, injuring 8, 2 of them critically, and sending dozens of others running for their lives.
The teachers, the camp workers, they were just freaking out. They were so... Like, you leave your kid with somebody for the day and you take this group to the museum and you don't expect a tree to fall over on their kids.
Investigators say the tree looked perfectly healthy and the weather was sunny and calm at the time. The search for 2 missing Florida boys has now reached as far north as South Carolina. The 14-year-olds took off on a fishing trip last Friday. Their capsized boat found days later, miles away. ABC's Candace Gibson has the latest.
The search is continuing at this hour for those 2 missing Florida boys. Overnight, 4 Coast Guard cutters were once again on the ocean. At dawn, an aircraft went up searching for those young boys. The teenagers went missing from their home in Jupiter, Florida, after going fishing Friday morning. Their capsized boat was found offshore about 67 nautical miles on Sunday. But since then, there have been no sightings of the boys or any other debris from that boat.
The FDA has just approved a new inflatable balloon device surgically inserted in the stomach and filled with saline to curb hunger. This is ABC News.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000 or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So don't delay. Call General Steel today at 888-98-STEEL. That's 888-98-STEEL. Need more planning? No problem. General Steel can help you with that right now. Call General Steel and be in your new building this year. 888-98-STEEL. That's 888-987-8335.
A potential disaster was narrowly averted over North Dakota when a commercial jet begged for permission to land while running almost on empty. ABC's Jim Avila has the story.
In the skies over North Dakota, a huge scare for 150 passengers and crew on board an Allegiant Airlines MD-80 on a flight from Las Vegas to Fargo. A jetliner dangerously low on fuel, less than 5 minutes from falling out of the sky.
We're circling Fargo. We don't. Of the 20 minutes for land. Yeah, I don't have 20 minutes.
An exchange no one wants to hear.
Ohio State University football coach Urban Meyer is being honored with a butter sculpture at this year's state fair. Meanwhile, a magician planning to perform at the Iowa State Fair saw his magic act disappear. Organizers banned it because it features doves, banned because of the bird flu outbreak. Karen Chase, ABC News.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
For KMAS Newsradio.com, I'm Mary Lynn Foster. You'll see some porta potties in downtown Shelton in the near future. The Shelton Poverty Advisory Team this week requested that the City Commission support the implementation of a plan to provide public restrooms in the downtown area, in part to help alleviate the problem of persons using public spaces downtown as restrooms. Community Development Director Steve Goins told the commission more about the recommendation and locations.
The initial phase is a pilot that will establish restrooms downtown that will be provided for a short period of time. Some analysis and consideration could be done as to how well those are received, how well they're maintained, where service demands are more expected based on the outcomes. The 3 locations that were selected, and that was after a fair amount of discussion. It's at Brewer Park, the eastern side of our gravel parking lot here at the Civic Center, and in the vicinity of the pump station on Front Street.
The portable units in the downtown area is an interim step until funding for a permanent brick and mortar restroom is identified. The commissioners voted 3-0 in favor of supporting the Shelton Poverty Advisory Team's pilot project. The caution from the commission was to control vandalism to the facilities. As of Monday, Splash of Mason County, in conjunction with Mason General Hospital Foundation, announced they've raised over $94,000 for capital repairs at the Shelton High School pool, which is very close to their fundraising goal of $100,000 with about a week to go. Splash President Jackie McAlevey says they appreciate the outpouring of community support and encourages everyone who wants to help to do so right away. Funds currently being raised will go towards immediate capital repairs needed at the pool facility. Fundraising for future pool repair needs will continue past the end of July. Splash is currently selling hot dogs and soft drinks at Skookum Rotary's Music in the Park. Splash is also sponsoring a half marathon fundraising event on August 15th at the Huff and Puff Trail. Donations can be sent to Splash, P.O. Box 1982, Shelton 98584, or online at masongeneral.com. The Salvation Army is seeking nearly $12,000 in damages from Olympia. The city had notified the Salvation Army in March of last year that a broken pipe causing a sinkhole had been on the charity's property. The Salvation Army then hired a contractor to repair the break, but it was later discovered that the broken pipe hadn't actually been connected to their property. The city covered the costs of the remaining repairs. The Salvation Army is asking the city for the $12,000 that they paid in repair costs. A city representative says the case is under review. For 1030 KMAS, FM 104.1, and in Thurston County on 92.9, I'm Mary Lynn Foster.
Take KMAS wherever you go with our new free KMAS mobile app. It's a free download from either your Apple or Android device. Check out the latest news, connect with KMAS, and even listen wherever you have a signal. Search KMAS in your app store and download our free KMAS app today.
Like us on Facebook and get our local news right on your news feed. Facebook.com/1030KMAS.
It seems like a lot of folks are suffering from lack of sleep these days, and finances are the #1 issue. This is Doug Sample here from Whitney Chevrolet. I encourage you to come in, sit down with us. Let's find out what you need, what you can afford, and see if we can make it happen. At Whitney Chevrolet, we know that you work hard for your money, and we need to work hard to make it go as far as you need it to. Check out our inventory at whitneychev.com. Then head to Montesano and experience for yourself why so many folks keep coming back. whitneychev.com.
The Bucks and Royals are road warriors. Hi, everybody. Todd Ant reporting on sports. And the Royals got some late-game heroics to quiet the crowd in Cleveland.
Hosmer swings it, drives it down the right field line, into the corner, and gone! A home run by Eric Hosmer, and the Royals have taken a 2-1 lead in the ninth.
On 610 KCSP, Royals get the 2-1 victory in Cleveland. In Minnesota, the Twins rallied with 4 runs in the 8th to tie the Pirates, but Pittsburgh's Jung-Ho Kang broke the tie in the 9th.
Swung on and belted. Deep left field. Jung-Ho and a bottle of rum. An upper deck shot, and the Pirates lead at 8-7.
On KDKA, Pirates win 8-7. In Texas, the Rangers scored 5 runs in the first, but the Yankees more than doubled that in the second inning.
Swung on and hit high in the air to deep left. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. It's a grand slam. Chris, forever young.
On WFAN, 11 runs in the second, and the Yankees crushed the Rangers 3 touchdowns to 5. 2 of baseball's best young pitchers took the mound on Tuesday. Athletics ace Sonny Gray continued to display his dominance on the road.
Burns will have a play. He'll squeeze it, and Sonny Gray at Dodger Stadium dominates the Dodgers. A complete game 3 hitter.
On KGMZ, the A's ditched the Dodgers 2-0. Gray improves to 11-4. He had 9 strikeouts. The Mets' young star, Noah Syndergaard, was perfect through 6 innings in Flushing, but after a single in the 7th, he was untouchable.
Syndergaard sets the 1-2 pitch. Fastball swung out and missed, strike 3. Now
9 strikeouts for Syndergaard.
On 710 WOR, Syndergaard's 8 strong innings led the Mets to a 4-0 win over San Diego. The Phillies sent all-star closer Jonathan Papelbon to the Nationals. NFL, after Commissioner Roger Goodell upheld Tom Brady's 4-game suspension, the league reduced Steelers running back Le'Veon Bell's suspension to 2 games. Todd Ant, ABC Sports.
Wow.
So, Frenchie's in that house.
Now we know. Holy cazoles.
What was it? Saint-Tropez. Not Saint Tropez.
St. Tropez.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
We're down here in St. Tropez. It ain't beautiful down
Hey,
here.
Pamela. Yes, kid.
Keep on picking.
It's beautiful here in St. Tropez.
Want to get married?
Not
For
like Detroit.
like 5 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever comes
That's
first.
funny. Saint-Tropez.
Okay,
Very
good.
cool.
All
Thank
right.
you. That was good seeing you guys.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
That's it.
10 past 8 here on a loosey-goosey Wednesday.
Why not?
And in sports, here's the latest surrounding the suspicion of star Patriots quarterback Tom Brady for using deflated footballs. Patriots coach Bill Belichick says the 4-game suspension of his star quarterback and the saga surrounding the deflated footballs won't alter his team's preparation for the season. And
how can it not? Tom's not going to be there for 4 games.
When asked whether backup quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo would get more practice in camp, Belichick replied by saying, "We practice everybody."
Sure.
Just want everybody to be ready for the big season, just around the corner, you know.
Yeah, no, I know.
Seahawks report to training camp Friday,
Yep.
day after tomorrow. And the next thing you know, Super Bowl 50.
I mean, literally, it is August 14, Denver Broncos kickoff. Pregame is at 5, kickoff at 7.
Who?
Today's Thursday, right?
Denver Broncos.
Wednesday.
Yeah. Today's Wednesday.
2 weeks from tomorrow? 3 weeks from tomorrow? It's May Thursday. 3 weeks from tomorrow, we've got our first football game.
There it is on the radio. You'll hear it here all season long. Mariners lost last night. They'll play again this afternoon. Felix on the Hill. And 12:40, the first pitch against Arizona's Diamondbacks, trying to sweep themselves out of Seattle.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say the roof will be open today. It's going to be pretty nice.
Yeah.
91 is the forecasted high. 95 tomorrow.
Minnesota.
94 Friday, 94 Saturday. I can look that up for you if you wish. Minnesota. I'll check that right after this.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now, from the gateway to the Olympic Mountains, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
8:13 here at KMAS and KMAS.com. Good morning to you. Every other week about this time, we welcome in Toby Kevin to talk about the ongoing issues of poverty around the community, and he often brings great guests in to continue those talks. Today,
But unfortunately,
today we just got Tom.
Stuck with me.
Tom's what,
we
a
have
three-time
concerned
listener
citizen, veteran advocate, and mentor, Tom Davis.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Nice to be here, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate
By way
you
of
being
introduction, I have been aware that Tom has been, shall we say, grappling with a number of the issues that face veterans in our community. We have in common that both of us are military veterans. And so I asked him, would he come have a conversation about Veterans Court as a topic and how it might apply to us.
Yeah, now Tom, you're involved with the Thurston County Veterans Court, and you're trying to get the Mason County Veterans Court up and flowing along, and it's a bumpy road, or is it getting some foothold here and going well, or what's the status?
Yes, and the Thurston County model is what I'd like to bring to Mason County. However, the road is a lot less bumpy in Mason County than it used to be.
Okay.
It's not exactly the same model that the Thurston County model has. And as you know, they have a 2 to 3% recidivism rate. That's about as low as you can get and hope for. So, but the differences are not as important, I don't think, as the similarities. And we have a veterans court that is just like within a couple of days of up and running. I've talked to the first veteran candidate for Veterans Court. I advocated for him in Superior Court. And so I would expect just as soon as he gets clearance that he will be our first veteran participant in Veterans Court. And that will be an alternative to incarceration. Mm-hmm. I won't talk about specifics about this particular veteran, but I will say that he's a combat veteran, and there's a nexus or a connection between his behavior in civilian life and his military service. And that's exactly the need we're trying to address. So it'll be kind of interesting. Now, in the Veterans Court in Thurston County, as I probably said before on prior shows, runs out of district court, and district court handles mostly misdemeanors. So that's kind of a low-level offense as opposed to felonies that are addressed in Superior Court. So you catch it right at the beginning before it escalates into something more in terms of felony. That has been the model all over the United States, with very few exceptions, and none that I know of, that district court is the home for Veterans Court. We run into some problems here, and they're very substantial problems and statutory problems here in Mason County, where the Superior Court, Veterans Court, is going to run out of Superior Court. Unfortunately, that means you have to commit a felony.
Yeah.
And so you get this participant as he's spiraling downward, as opposed to just at that crest where he commits a misdemeanor offense. So that's basically the difference between. Yeah, it is a big
significant.
Difference.
Yeah. Yes, Toby.
In 25 words or less, what's the process that we see in Veterans Court? We've already had some discussions here about drug court, for example, but what is it that differentiates Veterans Court from everyday ordinary court?
Well, if you complete the program, you don't go to jail. That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens? 25 words or less is not going to happen.
Not around here.
Good morning.
Right? You know who you're talking to, right?
Yeah, not around here.
But what happens, and I'll try to be as brief as possible, and realize there's no context that I'm giving you. I'm just giving you the logistics of what happens when you're standing in front of a judge in let's say a Superior Court, and the prosecutor and the defense. They talk it over about the defendant, and they say, well, listen, this is a good guy. You know, he's got some problems, but he's not off the cliff yet. So maybe he's a good candidate for Veterans Court. Let's not just run him through the system. So they get together and they collaborate, the public defender's office and the prosecutor's office. And lo and behold, we take a side step instead of a lateral step, instead of a step forward.
So is it akin to a plea bargain? Is there a plea that is, say, a trigger for the fork in the road?
Well, here comes the downside. And the downside is that this is a post-plea agreement in order to be eligible for Veterans Court. And that means you have to first plead guilty. And in our case, you're pleading guilty to a felony before you're eligible. Now, once you go through the Veterans Court program, which could be anywhere from a year to 2 years, depending on your needs and your response to the program, the conviction gets dismissed, not the charge. The conviction gets dismissed. So you have been charged with a felony, but you have not been convicted of a felony because that was dismissed. See, if that was to occur at a district court level, you would have been charged with a misdemeanor. And if it was at what they call a pre-plea level, meaning you don't plead guilty, and instead of pleading, you go to Veterans Court, then the whole thing goes away.
Yeah.
And that's where we want to go. For a variety of reasons that I won't get into, that's not going to happen in Mason County in this current model. But we're going to work to make sure, we're going to try to make sure that that works the same way as in Thursday.
I can see where that's a big deal from the standpoint of the official jurisprudence groups to really make it all go away. That is a big deal.
Yeah, and I I'm a layman. I'm not an attorney. I advocate in the most fundamental sense for the veterans, but I say you have to make your decision. Are you going to be a punitive court or are you going to be a therapeutic court? If you're going to be a therapeutic court, then don't punish the veteran after he completes the program. If you're going to be a punitive court, then don't put him in the program, but pick your direction. And again, I'm a layman, so it's very clear to me. I don't see the complexities here. But it's been explained to me that there are more complexities than I have the ability to comprehend. But the good news is we didn't have a veterans court 2 years ago, and we have a veterans court today or tomorrow or the next day, but it's going to happen, and that's a real step forward.
Toby, there are many veterans out on the streets. The assimilation back to civilian life after war episodes and experiences, it seems is just a little bit of a harder leap to civility against civilian living than in years past. And it may be just that I wasn't aware of it as much, or that there's more opportunity to be lost because of the opportunities of employment are not there that used to be. I don't know what all the reasons are.
Well, I was just reflecting here this morning. I think maybe the public assumes when we talk about veterans and their issues that it's all the trauma of combat. And it is traumatic. But I think what folks don't stop to think, I'm reflecting on the experience of me and my own family, is the disruption. In our case, we were part of the Vietnam era, and it was something like 18 months between training and spending. Well, this was a second tour, spending a year in Vietnam, and a lot of things got really disrupted in our family life that had an impact for quite a while. And none of this was because of anything traumatic that happened in my own experience in Vietnam. It's just that being in the service, particularly during time of war, really messes up your life. And then on top of it, some of these guys, I think about the guys I saw, as they say, humping a ruck, that is carrying a backpack around through paddies in Vietnam in 100-degree heat. Some really ugly stuff happened to those guys. So you take the brutal disruption of life by being in a strange place, and on top of that, you throw in the nasty
danger
stuff you saw, and that's behind some of the things that we see today. Sandbox wars were certainly no better than Afghanistan and Iraq.
It seems to me that the awareness of, for me growing up, I kind of always assumed you're in the military. Once you get out of the military, you're taken care of. And we have found over the last 10, 15 years that the VA has maybe shirked some of the responsibilities, or people have fallen through the cracks, and it's come to the forefront more. So we are seeing it more now too, because, for whatever reason, if you're in the Army, then after you're in the Army, or Navy, whatever, then you're taken care of. Your military, your health care is taken care of because you've served. But we've seen that that's not the case, and that's how a lot of folks have fallen through the cracks too, in my opinion.
Again, something that a lot of people maybe aren't aware of is that when you're in the service, you come under one department, the Department of Defense. The Veterans Administration is quite separate from the Department of Defense, so there may be implied accountability, but there isn't any real accountability. And first off, we've been blessed in our state by Senator Patty Murray. She has really gone to bat for veterans with the VA. But I think over time, the Congress has been a lot less willing to fund Department of Veterans Affairs, not the Veterans Administration, a lot less willing to fund that than they are to buy bombs and bullets and start wars.
Mm-hmm.
That's just reality.
There's a nexus also between Veterans Court and poverty. Most of the vets that I see, some of them are homeless, some of them, in all cases, no one's wealthy, so they wind up in the public defender's office. This is the final, we were talking about outside, this is kind of the final swirl before they go down the drain. Their life has gone from bad to worse. They can't seem to cope with the civilian life, and now they're in trouble with the law. So that's going to hurt their chances to resurrect their lives and to get jobs and so on. So it's hand in glove with the veterans issues by the time those particular veterans reach the criminal justice system and their poverty condition.
Mm-hmm.
So in that way, Toby and I are working very close together, and we're all going kind of in the same direction, and that is first to let the public be aware of the situation, make them be aware of the magnitude of the situation, and also, most importantly, let them be aware that there are solutions to this problem. And there are solutions. As I said, no one talked about a veterans court, and no one talked about poverty issues just a very short time ago.
Correct.
Now they're on the front burner, and we see things going forward. These problems don't go away. They just get worse.
Yeah. And real quickly, so the Veterans Court process, and you talk about it being like the last swirl and what have you, it seems common sense would dictate that you try to nip it in the bud earlier and at the district court level and an earlier level. But is there a way to change that status here in Mason County in any appreciably quick time, or?
Well, I was in agreement until you said quick. No, it's not going to happen quickly, but it's on the table. We are in negotiations, or at least conversations, with health care professionals and the district court to try to bring them into the fold. Now, this is no fault of the district court. This is just the way our particular local court system is set up, very separately. We don't know what that looks like at this time. So, but they are, Judge Victoria Meadows, she's our only district court judge, and they only have one part-time district court commissioners. So she's got her plate full. But at the same time, she's very sensitive to this problem, and she's a supporter. And all you need is two willing parties to make something happen. And I have every confidence that something will happen along those lines, but not quickly.
All right. And to wrap up, how do people listening have veterans in their lives, or are a veteran themselves, and maybe are in need of some veteran support like this? The outreach, the mentor programming, all of that. What's the connection there? Is it you?
Yeah, I work with the public defender's office. As soon as they get a case that involves a veteran, they give me a call.
Okay.
And then we start the process going. And I'm just a piece of this puzzle.
Right.
There's a whole labyrinth of services that are available to people. So that's the way it starts. Or they can just walk into Memorial Hall and say, I need to talk to someone. I have legal problems here.
There you go.
In the county, and we'll be all over them like white on rice.
Okay. All right. Very good. Yeah, Toby.
Another dimension is number one need of people in need is usually housing. And so just for anyone listening who has a veteran associate or friend, somebody who needs housing, you can go to the St. David's Parish Hall Monday through Thursday and talk to Barb Wiesa, who is a housing case manager specialist. And that's a starting point. Of course, there are other services available to veterans as well as anybody else in need at that same place.
Okay, very good. Well, again, thank you. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. For
You're
sure.
welcome.
Tom, we'll see you down the street.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. It is 8:29, so we'll get a check on the stock market.
Yeah, we have Veronica.
I think Veronica's visiting
today,
with us
and
this
then
morning.
her last day is on Friday.
I know this week is flying by.
So when people bring you your celebratory goodbye cupcakes, what kind of sprinkles do you like?
I love them all.
Well, there you go, folks. What's up with Wall Street today?
Well, stocks are little changed this morning as investors continue to monitor and weigh earnings. In earnings news, Gilead as well as GlaxoSmithKline both reported results above expectations. On the economic front, U.S. pending home sales declined in June, but remain well above year-ago levels. Treasuries have declined this morning. Sector is utilities. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 70 points at 17,700. The Standard & Poor's 500 Index is up 9 points at 2,102. The NASDAQ Composite Index is up 2 points at 5,092. This morning, volume on the New York Stock Exchange is moderate with 226 million shares traded. Advancers are outnumbering decliners by roughly a 2-to-1 margin. In commodity markets, the spot price of gold is down $1.50 to $1,094.07. The spot price of silver is up 6 cents to $14.75. And crude oil prices are up 83 cents to $48.81. In bond markets, the 30-year Treasury yield is currently 3%, and the 10-year Treasury yield is 2.29%. In stocks of local interest, Amazon is up $2.35. Costco is up $1.34. Boeing is up $2.06. Starbucks is up 42 cents. Microsoft is up 76 cents. This is Veronica filling in for Karen Shade of Edward Jones, member SIPC, serving individual investors with personalized attention and long-term financial advice at 1051 Southeast State Route 3 in Shelton. If you need additional information, you can contact her at 426-4590. Daily commentary is also located on our website at edwardjones.com.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
For KMAS Newsradio.com, I'm Mary Lynn Foster. You'll see some porta potties in downtown Shelton in the near future. The Shelton Poverty Advisory Team this week requested that the City Commission support the implementation of a plan to provide public restrooms in the downtown area, in part to help alleviate the problem of persons using public spaces downtown as restrooms. Community Development Director Steve Goins told the commission more about the recommendation and locations.
The initial phase is a pilot that would establish restrooms downtown that would be provided for a short period of time. Some analysis and consideration could be done as to how well those are received, how well they're maintained, where service demands are more expected based on the outcomes. The 3 locations that were selected, and that was after a fair amount of discussion, is at Brewer Park, the eastern side of our gravel parking lot here at the Civic Center, and in the vicinity of the pump station on Front Street.
The portable units in the downtown area is an interim step until funding for a permanent brick and mortar restroom is identified. The commissioners voted 3-0 in favor of supporting the Shelton Poverty Advisory Team's pilot project. The caution from the commission was to control vandalism to the facilities. As of Monday, Splash of Mason County, in conjunction with Mason General Hospital Foundation, announced they've raised over $94,000 for capital repairs at the Shelton High School pool, which is very close to their fundraising goal of $100,000 with about a week to go. Splash President Jackie McAlevey says they appreciate the outpouring of community support and encourages everyone who wants to help to do so right away. Funds currently being raised will go towards immediate capital repairs needed at the pool facility. Splash is currently selling hot dogs and soft drinks at Skookum Rotary's Music in the Park. Splash is also sponsoring a half marathon fundraising event on August 15th at the Huff and Puff Trail. Donations can be sent to Splash, P.O. Box 1982, Shelton 98584, or online at masongeneral.com. The Salvation Army is seeking nearly $12,000 in damages from Olympia. The city had notified the Salvation Army in March of last year that a broken pipe causing a sinkhole had been on the charity's property. The Salvation Army then hired a contractor to repair the break, but it was later discovered that the broken pipe hadn't actually been connected to their property. The city covered the costs of the remaining repairs. The Salvation Army is asking the city for the $12,000 that they paid in repair costs. A city representative says the case is under review. For 1030 KMAS, FM 104.1, and in Thurston County on 92.9, I'm Mary Lynn Foster.
We have some extreme temperatures in our part of the country. I want to tell you about a local company, Arch Mechanical. ARCH, Arch. It's an acronym for Affordable Refrigeration, Cooling, and Heating. But that's not what's important. What's important is how Tom, the problem solver, is able to help solve your heating, cooling, and refrigeration equipment or system problems. Check out archmechanical.com and find out more. archmechanical.com. Looking for a nice, relaxing evening along the waterfront with affordable pricing and live entertainment? Look no further. The Robin Hood Restaurant and Pub has new ownership with an updated menu, offering the same quality and taste you've come to expect with new, affordable pricing. Try the lemon drop prawns, fish and chips, or their whole line of steaks in the historic dining room, on the patio, or in the classic style pub. The Robin Hood Restaurant and Pub opens every day at 4, located in Union along beautiful Hood Canal. The Robin Hood Pub and Restaurant, featuring live music on Wednesday and Saturday nights. Come for dinner or stay the night at the Robin Hood Cottages next door, featuring hot tubs, hiking, kayaking. The Robin Hood is now an affordable and unique destination for your next staycation. See the full menu, musical lineup, and other details at RobinHoodVillageResort.com. Need a ride? Call 426-8294. Mason County Taxi, 426-8294. Anytime, anywhere. Call when you need a quick, affordable. Wednesday, the day after the decision, and Patriots quarterback Tom Brady used Facebook to defend himself, and team owner Robert Kraft expressed displeasure with the NFL's decision to not alter the 4-game suspension for Tom Brady.
Could have been worse.
Brady went on a 507-word rant on Facebook, told followers that he had done nothing wrong, nor had anybody in the organization in regards to letting the air out of the footballs. And he also said that he did nothing wrong by having an old cell phone destroyed because he had a new one.
Right.
He destroyed the phone, and by doing so, it was a big part of why Roger Goodell decided to not reduce or eliminate the 4-game suspension, because he destroyed it the day that they were going to come talk to him about it.
Goodell had to hold this up, right? He had to have the 4-game suspension. It would have looked terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Especially after Richard Sherman brought up at the Super Bowl that Kraft and Goodell are like best friends and they hang out together at their homes.
Yeah.
The conflict of interest. He had to.
Yeah. Yeah, he really had to. And again, I think it was more about the way that Brady took evidence and destroyed it.
Sure.
rather than allowing it to be used in part of the decision process. So if they feel like there wasn't a complete investigation, it was their fault. There wasn't enough evidence left. And so it was all too schmoozy to be believed. And so there you go. It's $1 million fine for the Patriots. Kraft has to pay that.
Okay.
And then the 4-game suspension for Brady. You know, the best thing to do would be to not appeal this decision, because now it's going to be divisive. And so the Players Association has already issued a statement saying they'll appeal the decision in court. And this is going to divide the NFL, not only ownership and management and players, but players among players, some for and some against. It's just not a good way to start the season. And it's still a hangover from last year.
They're not going to be done in 3 weeks.
Patriots open training camp today. Seahawks open training camp on Friday. People want to move on. Everybody wants to move on, apparently, except Tom Brady doesn't want to be cast as a bad guy.
Yeah.
So sorry, Tom. Mariners, by the way, lost a game yesterday. There's front page news. 8-4 was the final. They do have Felix on the Hill in an afternoon contest against the Arizona Diamondbacks. We'll start our coverage at 11:30 this morning, as it's an afternoon game, and 12:40 is the first pitch. And then it's off to Minnesota for the weekend for the Mariners.
Pretty nice. Expecting some rain out there next week, but they'll skip all that. Here, locally, no rain in the forecast. Yesterday's high at Sanderson Field. Oh, do you guys know what the high temperature was out at Sanderson Field yesterday? You're out there all the time.
Probably 82, 83.
85. Yeah, it was 84. 82, 83, 85. It was 84. Good job. That was close. 63 right now. Expecting 91 today.
Were either of you at Sanderson Field yesterday?
90.
No, one of you were.
95 tomorrow, 95 Friday and Saturday, 90 on Sunday. Very warm. It's 63 right now.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now, from the southernmost tide pool of Puget Sound, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
Yeah, streaming on the YouTube this morning.
All over the world.
KMAS.com.
Your friends in, is it Turkey? Where did you?
Yeah, tell your friends
they
to
can watch it.
Watch you on the YouTube.
I'll have to do that.
I don't know what time of the day it is there now.
There'd be some time shifting.
No, it's in the afternoon.
All right, Dick Taylor, the commissioner, the executive director, John Dobson, both in the studio with us this morning from the Port of Sheldon. Hi, fellas.
Good morning. How are you?
Welcome to it. I'm fine. How about you?
Well, look at this day. You know, this is a Chamber of Commerce day.
Yes, it is.
You know? There we are, right in downtown.
You live in Compton.
Yeah. Well, in Compton, you wouldn't see anything because it'd be all smoggy.
Oh, that's a good
That
point.
is true.
That's a good point. No smog here. Blue sky.
Blue sky today.
Beautiful.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. So last week, you guys were teasing us with some potential big news. You couldn't share anything. Can you share anything with us this week regarding whatever that big news was?
Oh, no, we can't talk about it. You know, that's what's on your blog, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Can't talk about it.
Negotiations.
Well, we're negotiating with Olympic College. Oh, how's that?
That's very
Is that-
good.
is that
That's
good?
exciting. Yeah.
This is really skullduggery in the background, you know, with Olympic College.
Oh, man.
You don't know how devious those folks can be.
It could be a potential expansion of the college.
Yeah. One of the challenges that we've had, and we've been working with TrueFab in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, TrueFab does obviously metal manufacturing or what do you call it? God, total blank. Anyway, welding and all kinds of good stuff. But they use what's called TIG or MIG welding.
Mm-hmm.
But the college teaches stick welding, old school stuff.
Yeah. Iron welding.
Iron welding, yeah.
As
And
opposed to aluminum.
so we've been talking with them, or actually they're talking to us about opening up a potential extension school there on our campus right next to TrueFab to be able to support them.
Wow, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, that'd be
Good
great.
fit.
Yeah, it really is. It's kind of interesting because actually 5 or 6 years ago, Olympic College came out. This was before they went down off of 101. But we had a building that was actually a foundry that was built specifically for a company. It only lasted for about 2 years and failed, but it had all of the electrical in it, and
for the welding and
all of that. So the original campus was actually planned for our location, but it didn't come about. So
okay, but maybe this time around.
Good possibility. So
Boy, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
You know, those guys down at TrueFab really have been on the cutting edge of technology within their line of business. For 10 years ago in the submarine project, they were doing welding down there or over there that the Navy wasn't doing.
Wow.
It was a higher grade than what they were doing for building military submarines. So, you know, they've been on the edge. They do lots of projects for the government.
Right.
And, you know, you can see them on TV. You see the ads on, or the programs on TV where they're dumping the boat out of the back of an airplane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that sled that the boat's on is built here in Shelton at TrueFab.
Man.
Oh,
man.
wow.
How many do they employ there at TrueFab?
Just under 30 right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
and the vessels are full-time jobs for the most part.
They're all full-time jobs, and they're quality jobs.
Yeah.
They're quality jobs. So those guys are, you know, I love working with those guys.
Yeah, that is exciting.
That's great.
We had Tammy Newton in studio with us yesterday. She's very excited about Habitat taking flight.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And that'll be September 12th.
Yes.
Out at the Sanderson Field facility.
Yes.
And can you explain to us exactly where that little shindig's going to, the nucleus of it at?
Look for the Kapowsin skydiving sign and head to the gate just to the north.
Okay.
Right there. That'll be the main entrance. There'll be a nice tent over that. You'll meet and greet some of the folks from Habitat. Get your wristband, come on in, and immediately to the right is the beer and wine garden and the stage and, you know, all the good stuff.
That's all I need to know. And then there'll be vendors, though.
Yes,
right?
if you want to go a little farther, an extra 20 feet or so, or actually probably another 100 feet, you'll find probably around 60 or so vendors that'll be there.
Wow.
What a big event this is going to be. Very exciting.
Very exciting. Yeah. And then on top of that, of course, then we'll have at least 6 to 8 food vendors that'll be out there.
Yeah.
Bunch of airplanes.
A lot of airplanes. Is a fly-in for you guys, right?
It is a fly-in for the local pilots and the regional pilots. We're talking to some military folk. Hopefully we can get some representation from them. We'll be talking with those this afternoon. Give a call to John Sessions. Not quite that. Maybe we'll see something from World War II vintage something or other.
Nice. Wow.
So, yeah.
So a static air show means that they're just on the ground, but the folks can get real close to looking at it.
Right, close, yeah.
Right. Nice.
Pilots love to do that. We've got the RC Flyers will be doing their own display as well, which is kind of fun too. So,
yeah, it is fun to watch those guys.
So anyway, lots of good stuff going on.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, September 12th, and it's $5 at the gate to get in. And
yeah,
a lot of stuff.
It's a donation for Habitat.
Yeah. And the admission is a donation for Habitat.
Absolutely.
That's the whole point. Doesn't buy fuel for John's plane.
No.
It's no.
It's not even a down payment. For John's plane.
No.
So what else is happening?
The marina.
Yes, sir.
Lots of good stuff going on at the marina.
All right, tell us.
And this is for all of those folks out there who like to do a little skullduggery in the background. Smile, you're now on candid camera.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so it's all being recorded. It's a 45-day window. There's at least 12 cameras out there.
Wow.
So, well, we've had some issues. In fact, I was really disappointed because the cameras just came online within the last 3 days, and it was last week that Hama Hama got broken into.
Oh.
And somebody stole some seed, and that's pretty expensive stuff, when you get right down to it.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And we've had some damage on some of the boats, and, and we have some folks that, have turned our bay into, housing. Low-income housing, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to happen, I guess, someplace. But unfortunately, then they end up using the marina and the services. And so we've got some issues with that. And, of course, we've got a homeless encampment nearby, and et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, cameras are up and running.
12 cameras.
Yeah, at least a dozen cameras. And the other thing we're going to be doing, too, and for all of those folks who like to drive by the marina and drop their garbage off in the dumpster, we're putting a fence around it. Sorry. And the only way to open it up is with a key. And the only people who've got the keys are our tenants.
Wow.
So that's another issue that'll be addressed probably within the next 30 days.
Yeah, you're not exclusive in that problem, unfortunately. I see that happening at parks all the time, and people just drive up. dump their garbage in the regular
Now
garbage.
they can't use yours. They'll find
And half
another
the time
one.
they don't dump it in the garbage.
They just
dump
close
it on
by.
the street.
close enough.
Kind of throw it
In
towards
my
the garbage
backyard,
can. Yeah.
Well, one of the things we've learned too, there'll be a roof on this too, by the way, because we know that means it
Can't go over the top.
Yeah.
That was good thinking.
I can't lob it in.
Thought this through.
Seen this
we have
problem before.
observed on more than one occasion.
Well, that's good. That's good news.
So
yeah,
and we sent we have the new patron guide, of course, that our commission agreed to, several months ago, and so we're sending out a letter to all of our tenants. And one of the challenges you have when you run a marina, there are all kinds of regulations at the state level that you have to deal with, specifically registration of the boats. And so we're asking our tenants to annually give us a copy of that registration.
Make sure that you've got your
so we have that, the insurance and things like that, right?
Yeah.
And make sure that the boathouse has the boat that you registered with us in that boathouse.
Oh,
there's a few folks over there that have been,
subletting it maybe.
Yeah, and actually, it's interesting to me because I don't see a difference between the airplanes and the boats when it comes to that. You have a boathouse, i.e., a floating hangar, or you have an airplane inside a hangar, one way or the other. And the times come by, maybe you want to upgrade, you want to get a different boat, so you sell your boat or you sell your airplane, and so that item moves out. We're totally accepting subleases at that point in time for a period of time, but beyond 4 months, we'd like to have further conversation. Beyond 6 months, then it's time to maybe move on and let us go ahead and permanently rent them, because we have a backlog on both. We have people wanting into the airport. We have people wanting into the marina. So it's not fair that you have tax dollars tying up a marina tax dollars spent in a marina, and you're tying up a slip that could be used to somebody else in the public.
Right.
So
right.
we want to service them a little bit.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So we got through 2, and what's up with Johns Prairie? Anything good happening there?
I think we talked a little bit about the expansion that McFarland Cascade has been going through.
A couple of those expansions
I mentioned that, yeah. So they've added another 10 acres. I had to laugh because this is when you get into negotiations with various tenants and companies. So, but they only wanted 6 acres, but they were using 10. So we kept going back and forth. Well, you need to sign it. So finally we said, look, sign the contract for 10 acres, and then if you do cut back to 6, then we'll reduce the agreement.
Right. But now you've got the 10 acres.
Now that they got the 10 acres, they're using the 10 acres.
I'd use it all too if I'm signed up
That's
for it.
That's one of Murphy's laws. Right?
Yeah, it truly is. Yeah, that is right. That is right.
So anyway, and we're working with Simpson too on some things. They have another 5 years on that lease out there. And of course, as we all know, that has they've sold the equipment to Sierra Pacific, and so we're working with Simpson to try to find an easy way to allow Sierra Pacific to move in and clear the equipment, and at the same time maybe allow some expansion out in that direction to some of those other buildings. There's about 150,000 square feet, 160,000 square feet of building out there that hasn't been used for several years. So we would like to acquire that back, and Simpson would like to move on anyway. So now that their deal is
you could probably find someone to fill those buildings.
We have several potential candidates for that.
Got some lines out.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll keep us apprised
That's
of
the
all
stuff
that.
we can't talk about.
Yeah, I know. But something's happening.
Something's happening.
Things are happening.
Things are
That's
happening.
right.
Actually, things
To
are
quote.
definitely happening. Yes.
Yeah. Things are happening. I just can't tell you.
Just trust.
All right. Well, so that puts a cap on this visit. Yes,
it does.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, you guys stay cool this weekend, man. It's gonna.
It's going to be hotter.
Yeah. Man, 90s.
I like it.
Do you get more pilots flying in when it's hot?
Do what?
More pilots fly in for the weekend or anything to stay here
because of the weather?
Because of the weather?
Not really.
No, I don't think so.
No, just other than the fact that it's sunshiny day and like boaters and airplanes, we all use
They're
our
heading out.
toys and go
See
play.
forever when you get up there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the neat thing
Oh, yeah.
about it is the higher you get, the cooler it gets.
That's true.
That is true.
Yeah.
Good point.
There you go.
Automatic rate, I think is what they call it. Something like
It's
that.
funny because you're closer to the sun. You'd think you'd be warmer, but
All right.
We're not even.
some kind of a chemistry
All
thing.
right. 8:53 here at Daybreak.
Yeah, quick. Let's surface.
Okay, let's get out of here.
All right, you guys have a good one.
Exit stage right. All right, thank you both for coming in this morning. Our port of call.
Thank you.
Here on a Wednesday. Quick break, and then our adieus here on Daybreak with Jeff and Dave.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Hi, I'm Ken Slater, the Roof Doctor. If you're like me, your family's important. so make sure that they're well taken care of. One of the best ways to do that is to provide a safe and warm home to live in. For over 50 years, the Roof Doctor has been helping families stay safe and warm by building roofs that last for generations. Our teams have some of the most experienced roofers in the area, and we only use the highest quality materials to keep your family safe, warm, and dry. That's the Roof Doctor. Give us a call.
Join KMAS News Radio for Cruise at the Creek Car Show. Show off your classic ride, a big poker run, cash barbecue and beer garden on Friday afternoon with a performance by the Cherry Pop and Daddies Friday night. The car show is Saturday from 10 to 3 with hundreds of classics on display. This year, a special salute to the Ford Thunderbird's 60th anniversary. Look for KMAS and come on out to Little Creek Casino and Resort for the Cruise at the Creek 3.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
Look for your free copy of Coffee News, available in restaurants throughout the South Sound and Mason County.
Good morning, this is Jim Morrell from Peninsula Credit Union, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on Newsradio 1030 KMAS.
All right, good morning to you.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Thursday, Dale.
It certainly is, Ollie.
We've got great guests.
Do we?
We've
got guests.
We've got great
have
guests.
to prove themselves to be great.
And we've got
Cramp.
Dale Cramp will be here.
I got a cramp.
You do. Dale Cramp and Tom Lumbaum will be here to talk about the big yesteryear Little Creek Casino car show coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
Deb Riley talking bats. And I just got an email in from Leslie Ann at the city. And tomorrow, Mark Ziegler will be here to talk about the dog park.
Yeah, update.
And free youth programs that are happening at MTA, the new transit community center.
Oh, yes.
We kind of talked about it a little bit last week, I think.
Yeah, so Mark's going to be in to update us on all that stuff.
The
Parks and Rec.
schedule.
Yeah, good deal. Awesome
stuff. And then Kristen Fabry.
Yes.
The Mason County Museum director. Will get a chance to meet her and introduce her to you in the community.
Yeah. So Justin's moved on to some other projects, and so Kristen is the new director of the Mason County Museum.
Wow, we got a lot of stuff happening into next week. August 8th is the traditional Taste of Hood Canal, so we'll talk with some folks from the North Mason Rotary.
Oh, you know it.
Lynn Longan on Monday. Tuesday, we will talk, Joel Meyer and Justin Holsgrove will be in to talk about the new program the PUD has involving solar power and potential savings for residential power customers.
Yeah.
I've been seeing they've been doing there's a lot of construction going on everywhere.
There is
lot of solar panels coming up.
Yeah.
Would you do that?
What's that?
Would you get that?
I would do that. I would look into that.
I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's part of our
also Brad Miller and Jackie McElvey.
The Splash folks
will be in next week as well. Lots of stuff coming your way. Always start your day with Daybreak. Literally and on the radio.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.